Tuesday, guys.
Woo!
Welcome to Talkin' Tuesday. I'd really like to do more of these. I'd like Talkin' Tuesday and Knife Hands to be our two regular shows. I think this is just Tuesday is a good day for me here. You know, I get to actually enjoy weekends and whatnot. What's up, beardos? What's up, beardos? Words and everything in between. Did you mean weirdos? I was actually just watching. I was just watching fucking Tuesday night main event with Beardo on. So, yeah, he did mean weirdos. All right. Hey, thanks a lot for being here, guys. Yeah, we got a big fucking show today. Got a lot of topics to talk about. Happy New Year's, by the way. I think it's our first show since New Year's. Yeah, because I did a couple videos uploaded on the Tesla Cybertruck explosion outside Trump Tower New Year's Day. First of them was with Green Beret Nap Time. That's his Twitter handle. He came on and gave us a really good insight into all that. We broke down all the reasons why that whole story made no damn sense. And he's going to be on tonight. He was going to be here on time, but he had to make a quick run back to his office. So he'll be here in about a half hour to break down all that, which is perfect time because I actually had a couple stories I wanted to hit up before he comes back. Before we hit up on that story. So how you doing, Alf? I haven't seen you in a minute either.
Yeah, man, I've been out. I went home to visit family for a week or so. So I didn't have any of my streaming stuff with me, so I couldn't get on. Then I got sick last week. I got the crud when I was home visiting family, and it kept me sick for like a week. Sucks.
It happens, man. Yeah, it's time. Tis the time of the season. Tis the time of year to fucking get sick and shit.
Then we're in a new year, and all kinds of crazy crap is going on.
Yeah, it's fun. Fucking New Year's started off with a fucking bang, quite fucking literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go into all that shit, man. None of that fucking story makes any sense. I mean, I guess unless you believe the narrative that he fucking like switched his meds and he was off his fucking rocker, but God, none of it makes any sense. I mean, career SF dude, career Green Beret, 19 years in. He was Green Beret the entire time. You know, some people say 19 of 18 years. Dude, that first year was a fucking training, all right? He was Green Beret all 19 years. The X-ray program, you're not going to be Green Beret first year. You got to go through training. But yeah, the fact that like he fucking blew himself up with basically a firebomb, gasoline, fireworks makes no sense. Inside a Tesla Cybertruck, that makes no sense because it's fucking bulletproof, and he would know that the explosion is just going to go straight up. It's the weirdest fucking story, man. So I'm going to let Green Beret Nap Time when he gets out here come on and talk about all that. But dude, weird shit, man.
Whenever we deal with the FBI, until we see Trump come in and do a purge of that organization, I am skeptical of everything they say.
Absolutely. Yeah, they come out with anything. They came out. I'm going to play this video. This video just came out a little bit before the show started, so I got it pulled up. But the FBI are saying that the email that was read, that's out there, that went through Proton and the Sean Ryan show had a big deal on it. FBI is saying that they confirmed that it is real. And I'm going to get Green Beret Nap Time's opinion on that because just like you said, anything that comes out of their mouths, I don't believe. If they say it actually was Matt Livelsberger's email, then I'm going to go with the opposite and assume that it wasn't.
I mean, when you have the FBI, an organization that it has been proven they had agitators on the ground on January 6th. I
dozens of them.
Can't fucking trust them.
Yeah, dozens of people on there on the grounds. All right, I'm gonna go through some chat here. Blue Cord popping out with the super chat at the beginning. I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna circle around and then I'll get to that, buddy. Thank you so much. Dr. Gold popping in. What's why? There we go. Oh, that's weird. Didn't highlight. What's up, Dr. Gold and Blue Cord Devil? Dr. Gold and Blue Cord talking here because Blue Cord did pop in the last live stream. His father is not doing well. Please, thoughts and actual prayers for his recovery and everything that's going on with him. Justin Wright. As soon as I saw mile marker 19. I thought that meant that you were here at Lake of the Ozarks because that's how we reference every part of the lake here is by mile markers. Everything starts from the Bagnell Dam out for like 91 miles. But he's in mile marker 19 off of 194 in Wisconsin. Current temperature 9 degrees. Yeah, well, I have a friend up there who showed pictures up there, and it looks more like Wisconsin down here in central Missouri than it does up there. So I was giving her shit. I'm like, hey, stop fucking sending your weather down here. We don't want it.
Yeah, I had where I'm at. I had snow the last 2 nights. Luckily, the weather's gone, so it's still cold.
Dude,
but...
it was an ice storm for us. We had freezing rain. The first day when it started, it fucking rained all day, and then it dropped down to freezing temperatures. And like last night, I finally tried to chip the ice off my fucking truck, and it was just a solid block of ice. I had to go to the store and pick some stuff up. So I'm like, I was just trying to ride the storm out and see, but I couldn't. I had to go to the store yesterday. I was able to just ship just a little bit. Like the key is you let it run for a while, with the vents hitting the fucking window, and eventually it'll get soft enough so they can break it off. But the side windows are the bitch. Yeah. I was able to just chip a little bit to see a little bit and see my rear view mirrors. And then I got to Walmart and I just let it run in the parking lot while I was inside, and I still couldn't break much off. It was fuck. Oh, what a pain. Yeah. And I broke my fucking scraper too. So I was aggressively hitting that motherfucker. Yeah. So that fucking just broke. I'm like, fucking figures. Fuck this cold shit, man.
We didn't have any snow today, but man, the wind was blowing and it was already cold. It just was awful.
Yeah. It didn't snow. It didn't snow much here. Like everyone's thinking it was going to be huge. They're predicting like 100% snow. So people here thinking it's going to be like a blizzard. It really wasn't. There really isn't that much snow. It's like maybe 1.5 inches. But it's it's that fucking ice, man. That's the problem. It's fucking ice. All right. What is up? Where did I see you? Just saying hi to everyone. Justin Wright, thank you. Big Low, what's up? Welcome to Talking Tuesday. Justin Wright says Alabama cursing the 10 inches. They are still expected. Alabama's getting 10 inches. Holy shit. Adonis, exactly. It's a PSYOP disclosure, anti-gravity technology. I mean, yeah, let's see, man. Let's see. Like I said, it's hard to trust anyone. Wayne Rowe, how you doing, buddy? William Alexander's in the house. And Kendon B, what's up? Lots of ice here. It's almost all gone now. Yeah, I think the sun came out at least today, so there was some melting, but it's still below freezing here. So I think it's down. I think like right now it's like 19 degrees out. So it's not 9 degrees like it is in Wisconsin, but still, fuck this shit.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Blue Core Devil for 20. The legend, the myth, the legend, the man. I just got that complete ass backwards. Hail, Adam, and everyone else. It has begun. When I do that, I should just have the fucking video ready. Why do I always fuck that up? Like, just have it ready to go.
It has begun.
Cheers to you, Blue Cord, you legend. I'm drinking actual whiskey again. I took my break from whiskey and it worked. It's not burning so much anymore.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. If you drink it too often, it'll mess up your esophagus.
Yeah, exactly. Right in my sternum. That's where it hurts.
And I get the least bit of antacid, and it just like it sets it off. It feels like it's on fire.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's terrible. Yeah, you get a little fucking acid reflux or heartburn, and that comes up and just burns the shit out of you. The key is though, fucking baking soda.
Huh.
Yeah, if you didn't know that.
I usually use those Tums, which is nope, doesn't work.
Baking soda is the fucking key, man. It's the best. I promise you.
Brahmable.
I didn't believe, huh?
Brahmable in the chat.
Pussies.
Oh, I smell bitch in here. Smell like bitch.
Fuck you, Brahma. No, I love you, man. Yeah, dude. Yeah. it doesn't even have to be a full spoonful, but take like a spoon of baking soda, mix that in just a little bit of water, chug that down. It doesn't taste bad. It's just kind of salty. And then it chemically reacts with all that acid and turns it into gas, and you start burping up a storm like right away. Once you're done burping, all gone. All gone. I'm telling you, try it out there, guys. If you haven't done it before, next time you have heartburn, I promise you, it is the solution. Fuck Tums. Fuck that shit. All right. Well, Blue Course, same reason vehicles always break down. Piss poor planning, piss poor result. Is that a jab at me? Because my fucking truck broke down when I tried to drive to Arizona for AmFest. By the way, I still got a bunch of videos going up. I got I think he's the CEO of Parler. I got a video of him up. It's pretty cool. Parler got shut down right after the first Jan 6 in 21 because it was Trump's only last source of ability to get information out to the people, and they couldn't delete his account, so they shut down. The big tech colluded and shut down Parler completely, taking off all the app stores. So absolute corruption. He was so the CEO. It got sold, and now this new guy bought it up. It is still a social media platform, but now they have news and all kinds of other shit on there. So check that video out if you haven't already. It is in the AmFest 2024 playlist here on Vets Talkin. Good interview, good man. And yeah. What's up, Bruce? My fellow paratroopers in the house. What are you saying, Justin? Where can I share a picture with you and the chat from the week of Christ? You can, I guess the best way would, I say reply to the tweet on here. If you're on Twitter, that's the best way. I can pull it up then. Yeah, go into my account, find our account at Vets Talkin right here. That's the main account, and then just comment on the tweet, and I'll get a notification and pull that up.
I know. I'm still surprised how many people don't use Twitter. Because I talk to people at work about it, and they're like, "Oh, I don't use Twitter," and I'm like, but it's like the best place to get news quickly about what's going on.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff that Trump was doing today, I was just getting updates and updating the people in my office about it.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think there's a lot of stigma too. There's a lot of people who just don't like social media in general. I mean, if it weren't for YouTube, I wouldn't be on Twitter. But when all the shit was going on in New Year's. I mean, fuck, man. We knew about the fucking Tesla truck exploding long before anyone else did, because all the news was talking about all day long was the killings in New Orleans. And I even put a short video out on YouTube going, why is no one talking about the fact that a fucking Cybertruck just blew up at Trump Tower?
Yeah, the legacy media is so slow to respond to that stuff. It's out for a whole day on Twitter before they start talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, what's up, Ruben's in the house? Says Adam, how about a bet regarding the game between the Packers and Eagles on Sunday? Packers can get their asses kicked. If the Packers win, I buy you a bottle of whiskey that you pick. If I win, I get a bottle getting paid in Feb. I ain't taking the bet, dude. I ain't taking the bet. This is not the Packers year, man. I thought they were good, but by the end of the day, at the end of the season, we only got one single win in our fucking division. We got swept by the Lions, swept by the Vikings, and lost to the goddamn fucking Bears in the last game of the fucking season. It's not good. Our defense sucks. The play calling was atrocious. I love Matt LaFleur, but the offensive play calling was terrible. We got a good team, man, but I think this is just not our year. I think the Eagles are going to kick our ass. Which is sad because we did really good in playoffs last year. I don't know what changed, but plus we lost Christian Watson. He's out for the year. He got an ACL tear in the last game. He's one of our best receivers. So we got plenty of guys who can step up the game, but it's nah, I ain't playing that.
I got to ask a question. Well, bring up a quick topic because this is the stuff that happened today. Peter Santos is talking about it. Greenland, Panama Canal, annexing Canada. I be honest, I think Trump is just trolling with the annexing Canada stuff. Personally, I don't want Canada to join us. They've got a lot of wacky voters there. It'd be like adding another California to our union.
Yeah.
We don't need that. But I think he's serious about Greenland.
And we're gonna talk about that. I've got stuff pulled up. That is one of the topics I want to talk about. And actually, quick announcement: we're gonna have Mark the Cyborg, who is active duty Canadian Army right now. He's gonna come on Thursday on Knife Hands at 8:00 Eastern this Thursday, and we're gonna talk about, because I was asking him what he thinks about it, and he likes the idea of Canada becoming another state. He actually thinks it'd be better to break up. He thinks every province should be a state. That would eliminate what you're talking about there, about, the fact that Canada in general is very fucking, very liberal. But individual states is a possibility. But he said that one of the biggest issues will be the conflict between the differences in our military. So he's going to come on, break down all the reasons, because he was telling me through DM. I'm like, dude, that makes so much fucking sense. It sounds like a lot of fucking problems we'll end up having. So he'll be here on Thursday to talk about that. Justin, I'm checking, man. Make sure what did you send, dude? Because I don't see any notification, man. I'm looking at the tweet. I don't see any replies on there.
You're talking about the tweet announcing this show?
Yeah, for tonight's show. I have no notification at all of anything, and so yeah, dude, check. Send it to, like I said, on Vets Talkin. Send it to the tweet that I have on there for announcing this show.
He could also DM it to you.
I checked the DMs.
Oh,
it's not in DMs either. Peter Santos, what's up, man? Thank God Trudeau resigned. There's something interesting about that too. So Trudeau announced his resignment, but he's not officially resigned. And it looks like apparently what's happening is the what do you call it up there? Their fucking government. Parliament. Yeah, the parliament up there was going to kick him out like in the next couple of days. And so instead of kicking him out, he announced to resign. But apparently it won't take effect for 90 fucking days, and he's stopping them from being able to meet to vote to kick him out. Like apparently they're trying, like they want to get together to vote to kick him out, and he's taking like illegal measures to keep them from doing that.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's maintaining power as long as he can, and I heard people saying that it could be fucking 90 goddamn fucking days, and who knows with a corrupt motherfucker like that what he'll do in 90 fucking days. I just don't fucking know. So yeah, that's a story. Brother, I don't know what to tell you there, Justin. I'm checking my Vets Talkin account, man. I'm looking at the tweet. I see nothing in there. I've got no notifications that you sent me anything, dude. I don't know what to tell you, man. What's up? Tina Bojan is in the house. What's up, Tina? Bad take. Alf, if you want to check and confirm that, I can.
Yeah, I'll look.
Yeah.
Give me a sec.
Goddamn cuck. Yes, he is. All right. And while we're doing that, so I did see this pop up. I want to bring this up. This is another like just class A fucking troll on Trump's part. What he's doing here. He wants to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which I love.
I'm actually for that. Do it.
A future date pretty soon. We're going to change because we do most of the work there and it's ours. We're going to be changing sort of the opposite of Biden, where he's closing everything up, essentially getting rid of $50 to $60 trillion worth of assets. We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. The Gulf of America. What a beautiful name. And it's appropriate. It's appropriate. And Mexico.
Love this. Love that. Love that. Love that. I realized.
I looked on the post. I didn't see any tweets on it. So, replies.
All right, brother. Just Justin. Fucking. Again, I don't know why we're not seeing it, man. But it's not there, brother. Kennedy says he sees the pictures. What?
Where?
Where, dude? Marjorie Taylor Greene already has paperwork in Congress ready for what, to change the name. That'd be fucking dope. All right, let's see. I don't want to talk about this. I want to talk about the Jan 6 pipe bomber because, again, this is a big, huge fucking story that no one's talking about. The pipe bomber story. I want to talk about this when we get the Green Beret on. But the pipe bomber story is bigger than the fucking than the Jan 6 thing. And I mean the quote unquote insurrection, because this has been hidden. This is, again, whatever they want you to see or don't want you to see, assume the opposite. They don't want you to know about the pipe bombs on Jan 6. They've been doing everything they can to suppress any information on that. Every time Congress asks about who was the pipe bomber, what's the information on, why did certain people do this, or this, they keep hiding it and saying that it's an ongoing investigation. They can't talk about it. 4 fucking years later. And it's only until now, after the fucking, let's see. Hold on.
I see pictures on there now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I got you. Yep. Now I see them. Yeah. Only 4 fucking years later, now are they finally fucking saying that this is a big fucking deal. We want people to give us information. They put videos out. Well, here's a fucking crazy thing too. I'll show the pictures here in a sec. The crazy thing is that left-wing media is fine talking about it and saying we have new video of the pipe bomber from the January 6th laying the bombs. No, we've had that video for 3 years. It's not new. Actually, I think 4 years.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about this.
Dan Bongino's been talking about it. It's nothing fucking new. We've known about this. And guarantee the government, the FBI, know who this guy is. He was on his fucking phone. They were able to triangulate and find every single fucking quote-unquote insurrectionist who went into the fucking Capitol building within days. They were able to find the fucking who was it? Recent fucking killer, not from New Year's Eve, but anyways, but they're able to find everyone they want except for this fucking guy in the most secured fucking place in America, Washington, D.C., and they claim they can't find us. It's because it's a fucking inside asset. All right, somebody working within the government, and they're trying to do the best to hide it.
Oh,
Luigi, yeah, they found Luigi in no time.
It's like with the Cybertruck guy. We knew all his information, but we still don't know all the information about the automatic or manual transmission that shot up that Catholic school a few months ago or a year ago, whenever that was.
The Transformer.
They still haven't released anything on that person. It's funny how, when it's someone they want to target, the information gets out quick.
Yeah, absolutely. What are we looking at here, dude? These batteries? Oh,
that looks like rotted
that
from the
don't look
inside
good.
out.
Uh-huh. That looks like a swollen fucking battery. That is not good. What are you trying to tell us here, dude? I see pictures. But I don't have any story behind it. Did you tell us?
No, he didn't say anything. Oh, it exploded while he was driving.
I was driving. Your car battery exploded while you're fucking driving. Holy shit, dude. Oh, that's fucked. God dang.
That thing probably sprayed battery acid everywhere too.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's not good. Wow. That must be I'm assuming is this like a diesel truck or something? I've never seen a vehicle battery set up like that. It looks like it's 2 batteries. Oh. That sucks, dude. That must have been scary as hell.
That's on my semi, he says.
Yeah, okay. Dude. Glad you're okay, man. Glad you didn't blow up like a Cybertruck. So we're gonna get to that. I've got a video here. Somebody, Mike Benz, did an analysis of a video here. It's clearly obvious that the video that the FBI put out of this fucking guy is very clearly manipulated. The frame rate is slowed down. He points out that it is very obvious they actually blurred this guy's eyes. So that obviously, so people with like AI tech or good scanning can't identify him, even with the fucking can't identify him through the eyes. So, yeah, dude, it's very obvious. The federal government, the FBI, Secret Service, everything, they're doing everything they can to hide who this guy is. It's very obvious because when we find out who it is, we're going to find out why the pipe bomb thing even happened. And it's Bongino's belief, and I believe him, that the pipe bomb was actually Plan A. Plan B, the fucking quote unquote insurrection, it was Plan B because they didn't know it was going to go as well as it did. And when that went well enough, then they backed off of the initial plan with the pipe bomb and said, okay, everyone shut up. We're not going to talk about this. They deleted fucking messages off of phones, all kinds of shit. They're fucking hiding this crap, man. We need to find out who that guy is. Kash Patel's going to get there. And that's why they're trying so hard to fucking block everyone too. You know, they want to block Kash Patel getting in. They want to block just Trump in general because these people are fucked, man.
Everything surrounding Epstein and the Diddy list, that shit needs to come out.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Yeah, they showed pictures of it, and it looked exactly like an FBI training device that has a 1 hour timer on it, a little twisting fucking timer. Guess what? The thing was planted at like 2 o'clock in the morning. They found it at like 11, and they said there's only minutes left until it's going to explode. It was a 1 hour fucking timer. How was it about to go off? How did bomb sniffing dogs not find it? Because there's no explosive in it. That's how. Why is Kamala Harris at the DNC and not at the State House? I mean, the Capitol building. She keeps saying she was at the Capitol building, but she was actually where her life was threatened, where she almost died from a quote unquote pipe bomb. If she wants to play victim like all these Democrats are, fucking AOC saying that she was almost killed and or raped when she wasn't even in the Capitol building, she's going to be there.
She was in a completely adjacent building.
Victim. Harris could have played victim by saying she was at the DNC and almost got blown up by a fucking MAGA terrorist with a pipe bomb.
Wow.
What were you saying?
I was just saying AOC was in a completely adjacent building. Like there was no protesters in the building she was in. And the fact that she made a big deal about it, she acted like she was afraid, trying to act like, pump it up like it was a bigger deal.
The bigger story is that Harris, trust me. I mean, AOC is just a fucking idiot. But Harris, Kamala, saying she wasn't at the DNC when she was, and not wanting to claim victimhood on the fact that a pipe bomb was right outside her office. That's the fucking story that's insane. And the reason is because they don't want us paying attention to that story. That's it.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense because if it was a real pipe bomb made by a real insurrectionist, it would be on the news 24/7, for months, and they would be taking advantage of it because it's probably planted by a government agent.
Yep.
They're covering it up.
It's not even in the January 6th committee report. It's in an annex. It's in like the fucking the part in the back. There's a mention of it, but there is no mention at all really in the actual report of January 6th that there was even a pipe bomb. How is that not a huge fucking story?
Hardy harmonica must have been set.
It must have been set for government time.
Good enough for government work.
Yeah, that's right. Justin Wright for 5. Thank you, buddy. Says, do you know the channel at America's Untold Stories? Hashtag Lord Buckley has a very interesting timeline. I feel like I've heard of that. I haven't seen it. I'm gonna have to check it out. Thank you for the 5, buddy. And by the way, let me get up here and let everybody else know why we're taking shots and drinking beer. For one, it's just fun to do. But we do have drinking game rules. Anyone out there can feel free to play along. Any single super chat and do social, $20 or more, and we do shots. Of which I do half shots. I don't do full ones because y'all got me blackout drunk too many damn times on here.
You learned your lesson.
Not early enough, unfortunately.
His blue cord likes to get you hammered.
Yeah, he does. He's even extra evil when we have new guests on there trying to play along. Plenty of guests have woken up with regret for coming on this channel too many times. All right. So yeah, we'll get into the video and everything on the Jan 6 pipe bomber when Green Beret nap time comes down here. He should be on soon. He said he'd be about a half hour late. So let's get on to this. You know that the Dems and oh, hey, look, perfect timing. Speak the devil and he shall arrive. What's up, man?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. Yeah, we were just talking about the Jan 6 pipe bomb shit and all the news that's coming out about that. Do you follow that story?
No, I haven't followed that one as much. I've been diving into this NOLA terrorist, so I'm kind of working on a thread for that. Make some sense of it.
Yeah, to be clear, the Jan 6 pipe bomb, that's from the one 4 years ago at the
Right.
insurrection.
Right.
Yeah, I'll get into that. There's some video and stuff that I'll get at, and cause it's shocking that, well, it's not shocking, but they've done everything to hide it, so it's not surprising. But it is the biggest story. It's one of the biggest stories in the history of our fucking country, I guarantee, because it's going to come out that the pipe bomb was actually an inside agent who was actually that was actually Plan A, and the insurrection, quote unquote, was actually Plan B, and that's the reason why they're covering up the fucking pipe bomb story. And I'll get into that and show you why all that is a fact.
Maybe I need to take a look at that one too, man.
Oh yeah, trust me. I've been following Dan Bongino is like, I follow him for like all my information. He's been following that story fucking big time. Yeah. And I don't do it justice to lay out all the information. But yeah, if you follow him and see the timeline and events and everything that's been going on through him, yeah, you'll believe 100% this is fucking huge.
Let me see that. Let me look while you start.
Yeah. But I did want to get to this. Like I was saying, every single time, like you look at freaking Kamala Harris, and she's the first ever woman vice president, the first ever black vice president, even though she's not actually black, she's Jamaican and Indian. She's the first this, the first that, the first blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? She has a record now for being one of the first of something else, but no one seems to want to talk about it. I wonder why. She is now on record as being the first woman to certify her own election loss.
President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump, state of Florida, has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris.
Take it, bitch. And I think everyone's all joyful about that.
Kamala D. Harris of the state of California has received 226 votes.
Yay, she lost! Yay!
The votes for...
Oh, they all give a standing ovation and applaud the fact that she lost.
All they do is virtue signal all the time.
Oh, I love it. I was watching that whole thing live, man, and I'm shocked that it went as well and as fast as it did, because every single time the Democrats has ever lost a fucking election, going back to 1989, George H.W. Bush, they have argued every single election of a Republican. Every fucking time. Going back decades. This is the first time since 1989 that individuals from individual states did not go up and argue some kind of interference or some shit, because they lost so fucking bad. So it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, seeing her pain and seeing Mike Johnson there just gleeful and smiling at her like, yeah, you lost, bitch.
Yeah, I don't even like Mike Johnson, and that was great. So
you say it again?
I don't even like Mike Johnson, and that was great to see it. So
yeah, I'm hoping that the reason that Trump endorsed him and he managed to get back in is because Trump sat him down and said, "Look, motherfucker, we on the same page? Look me in the eye. We're on the same page, right? Okay, good. You can be speaker again."
And
I hope that's how
not,
it went.
this is not exactly the same Republican Party that we had 8 years ago when Trump got elected the first time. Some things have changed. There's much more Trump support within the Republican Party now than there were 8 years ago.
Exactly. So that's all fun.
I also think a big difference is X. I think it's making a huge difference on what these people can do and what they can get away with, because I mean, you've seen it where they were gonna do that spending bill, And then everyone on X went crazy about it, and then all of a sudden, boom, it gets pulled, and now they do a small, tiny one, and you know, voices are finally being heard.
Yeah, 100%. Elon Musk buying X is one of the greatest achievements in our society for like a century, man. It drastically changed everything, and I'll actually use that as a segue because now making waves is Facebook, Meta, and Mark Zuckerberg, which of course the libs are fucking losing their minds over. But in case you missed it, this dropped, I think today. This is Mark Zuckerberg himself making this announcement. This is a 5-minute video, so I started at a certain point where it gets to the meat and potatoes what we're getting at.
First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth.
Bullshit.
But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US. So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system. Second.
All right. So, and he goes on and on, like basically trying to turn Facebook into more of an honest source, like X, like Elon Musk did to X. A lot of people have been saying, like Steven Crowder's been saying for a while, that we've been seeing a change in Zuck, especially ever since he started, hitting the mat with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which when you get those kind of trainers, those are going to be some pretty base dudes, man. Those fucking hardcore Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu trainers, they are not going to be the kind of fuck around. And you are going to find a lot of trust in somebody who takes you down to the ground, puts you in an armbar, and does not break your fucking arm. So I guarantee he's been listening to these guys. Plus, he surrounds himself with former special operators for his security, and I guarantee they've been in his ear. So, I mean, you can just see the change. Just look in his appearance. Like, this guy is really coming around to be someone who is coming, just appears to be more human more than anything else. But can we trust him?
That's exactly what I was about to say. I still don't trust this guy. I think he's the living embodiment of a robot. I mean, the guy just goes with where the winds are blowing. I just don't trust him. He never apologizes in this video for the censorship on Facebook.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, part of it is that when you do something, you start actually doing something hard, like physically hard. That's why lifting weights is such a good thing for people, and I encourage everybody to like get into a gym. Even if you don't like gyms, find a small one, whatever, and lift some weights, because you learn something about yourself when you do something hard. And then it opens up a whole nother mentality. And so like him doing BJJ is going to be opening up all these other, avenues of thought, because he actually pushes himself and he does something hard. Because, everything up into his life up to that point, he's a smart guy. He is kind of like a robot, like you just said. Computer stuff is easy for him. That stuff doesn't challenge him. But when you actually challenge yourself, that's when you start learning a little bit.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell. This is like, I mean, Bongino was saying today, hey, just hold on this, guys. Don't go jumping to any assumptions. Same thing, like, people keep on jumping and saying that, why do I always forget his name? The HBO late night guy.
Bill Maher.
Yeah. Every single time he comes out saying something that's on our side, look at this, Bill Maher is on our side now. No, the fuck he's not. No, he's not. He said that one thing, but fast forward to 2 minutes and you can see he fucking backs right off again. It's like he went on a rant that everyone fucking retweeted is viral about him talking about how our universities are nothing but indoctrination centers. And then everyone's like, yes, he's on our side. He's listening to us. And then, 60 seconds after he said that, he says he rips on fucking Republicans by saying fucking Bill Clinton and George Bush and other fucking Republicans went to the same schools, implying that they are part of the problem too. You can't. We got to give some time. And see if he's actually being legit about this, or is this just some attempt to try to save face? Save Facebook.
Yeah. And I said I don't trust him. However, I do believe in redemption arcs, but he's got to prove it through his actions.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, any of these you don't trust any of them fully. Like even Elon Musk. I mean, he's done X, and he hasn't given it exactly what it should be, though. I mean, it should be free speech. He left most of the stupid things that you can still get banned for, suspended for, just for saying words.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't trust any of them 100%. Like, and I'm against Musk on the HB1 stuff. I mean, like HB1's fine if you're doing it for like the lead AI engineer, right? And you can only find that dude because there's only 6 of them in the world, right? I get that.
Yeah.
That's what it's for. It's not for the director of pickleball or a cashier at 7-Eleven,
Yeah.
So like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And the point is that the people who are arguing, like they're after this whole controversy went down, then you got leaders of union groups are coming out saying like, look, good Americans are losing jobs because companies are taking advantage of foreigners that come in for cheap labor. That's 100% the case. You're right. If we get a highly skilled engineer from fucking Uganda or some shit like that, let's fucking bring them in. But yeah, we can't just be bringing in just anyone for any fucking job. Then they're just taking perfectly good jobs that American citizens could have.
You want people that are pioneering in fields of science that that will actually benefit the country when they come over here.
Yeah. So that definitely became a hot topic. I never knew that was such a hot topic, but it certainly did come up when fucking Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk are talking about it. So the guy's in charge of Doge, which, by the way, no investment advice, but I invested in Doge and I made a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, that's one of the good ones.
Yeah, it's been dropping, but so is everything else. It's kind of a rebound, but it should be going back up again. I'll get to these super chats here in a minute, but I want to give some love over to the Rumble side. We are live here on YouTube, Rumble, and on Twitter, X. I'm gonna start calling it X because I respect it. What's up, Dragon Lake over in Rumble says, "Hey brother, I wonder if President Carter's flag will be dress right dress or wrinkled as fuck." Dude, that guy was a corpse months ago. The fucking pictures of him out for his 100th birthday was not good. All at the same time, they're saying that he's proud to be voting for Kamala. Like, dude, this guy this
guy doesn't know where he's at.
No, less than Biden, man. This guy had no pulse. All right, Blue Cord Devlin with another 20. Thank you, brother. Says, we'll tell Zuck to reinstate my account from Labor Day of 2020. Yeah, dude. My old Soul to Spirit account still isn't reinstated. I got to go back and check, though. But, yeah, I was fucking going hardcore on the election in 2020. And I don't know what I did, but I got banned. Like a lot of other people did. And I never got my account back.
Yeah.
I had like 3,000 followers at that time, too. I'm still trying to crawl back. Crazy times. Let's see. Let's give you a video here for that. And let's start things off with this, because I think everyone loves this.
Quick, baby!
Thank you, Blue Cord.
The shenanigans that go on in barracks.
Let's see.
Were you doing that in team rooms when you're in special forces?
Team rooms are a different animal, man. I'll tell you what. I mean, good times. Good times. You never know what's happening. I mean, if you're training, right? But when you're not training, beers might be cracked at 10 a.m. You never know.
Nice.
Yeah, I hear it's not that way anymore, though. So used to when I was in, the whole saying was that you showed up with a case of beer, and it better be, something like Miller Lite or Coors Light or something. Not if you come in with like a Sierra Nevada, go back out into the hallway type
or
of thing.
IPA.
Yeah, or some IPA stuff. We're here to drink a lot. It's not about drinking craft beer here. All right. But nowadays I hear, I don't know, like with all the stuff happening and all the different things going down, I'm hearing that team rooms are beer free now, which just
sad
to hear.
The fun police came in.
They probably have to have pronouns on their name tag too.
Oh, I hope not. I hope it hasn't got that, man. God.
Not up to that level, man. That's all fucking the lowest level of the fucking tiers in the goddamn fucking admin rooms.
As far as I know, in the TAC-B community, that's not happening. But yeah, the clampdown on alcohol, that happened there too. So
yeah,
I thought you were JTech.
JTechs are part of TAC-B. TAC-B's the team.
That always fucking confuses the shit out of me, man. Differences between those two.
Tactical Air Control Party. You have officers listed. Yeah, so, but
isn't that like JTACs are the ones who will go like special operations, like work with Tier 1, all that, but TAC-Ps don't?
JTACs are the ones that are actually controlling the aircraft. It's a certification.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
you could be.
They can go work with regular Army. They can go work with Special Forces. They can be farmed out anywhere that they're needed.
Yeah, you can get JTAC certified as a Green Beret.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's not actually. So TAC-P is a fucking
TAC-P is the
specialty.
It's the Air Force unit that goes out and does that, and it's comprised of officers, JTACs, everything. So,
and JTAC, like you just said, anyone can qualify to be JTAC. I never knew that. Okay.
Within certain career fields, yeah, only certain career fields can get the JTAC, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, Green Beret, that obviously makes a lot of sense. So I wonder, you seen the movie Land of Bad?
I have not seen that.
Oh, it's terrible. But yeah,
really?
I can't watch war movies, man. They're always so it always takes me back to Lone Survivor, and I'm like, dudes, you got like, they're like, we got 3 possibilities. We kill them. We blah, blah, blah. Like, you've never done a MAM rodeo and taken them to PZ posture and you're just waited until your helicopter got there. And then you get in, you tell them, hey, you don't leave until we fly away or we'll kill you. And then boom. Or just get rid of them, whatever. But like, come on.
Oh, and you're going to tell me that you didn't already have contingencies in place on if something like that happens?
Yeah, no, Marcus Luttrell's just lying. They got compromised. And probably because everybody fell asleep. That's what I would assume.
Dude, go ahead.
Well, yeah, when I was my first 3 years in, I was in infantry Lewis detachment, long range surveillance. So we did surveillance operations, and when I was deployed to Iraq, that's what I'm saying. Like, we had plans in place. If we got compromised, we had exactly what we were going to do. If a situation, depend on the situation. And you're exactly right. I know somebody fucking fell asleep. There's no way they wouldn't have heard somebody coming and been properly fucking camouflaged in. Because we did that too. We didn't. It never happened in combat, but field training exercises, we would have guys practically walk right over a fucking hide site and not know that we were there. So
yeah, and I mean, I don't know. You're gonna let your entire team die because you're like worried about the morality of these 3 doing whatever you need to do to survive because of these 3 shepherd, like they're working for the Taliban. Like 90% of them were over there anyways, so
yeah, fucking
the whole story is kind of dumb if you ask me.
I will say this. I watched, because we talked about it I think over a year ago when it first came out, but the Masters of the Air on Apple TV. It goes over the air war over Europe during World War II. And it's made by the same people that did Band of Brothers. I really enjoyed that. That was a good show. It showed how many airmen we were losing pretty much every mission. It was like hundreds at one point, every mission. They were losing dozens of bombers. And, of course, there's like 12 or 14 crew members on every bomber. So it was crazy.
Look at that. See, we got the Army guys here talking about ground comm. The Air Force dude has to chime in about the Air Force.
Yeah, I gotta. It was a great show, though. If you get a chance, I do want
to check it out. It does look really fucking good. Dr. Gold for 5. Okay. What?
I was gonna say Apple TV's doing like a 7-day free, promo right now.
Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out because I just realized that's the reason why I haven't seen it because I don't want to fucking sign up for Apple TV because there's nothing else on there.
Yeah,
Silo's pretty good.
What is
Silo?
Excuse me.
It's based off of the book called Wool. It's a series.
Oh,
it's like a post-apocalyptic series. It's pretty good.
And Ted Lasso's pretty good too. I've been watching that.
Oh, Ted Lasso's good.
Yeah, I saw the first episode of that. I did not have high expectations.
I started it and I binged it, and I'm on the 3rd season already. So
nice. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to take advantage of that free trial then, and maybe I will sign up for it. I got off of fucking DirecTV, thank God, and I signed up for Fubo. It's like saving like $100 so I've got room to spend. And speaking of spending, Dr. Gold, thanks so much again, buddy. Another 5 says, I hope JD Vance will run for president next election. Oh, it's gonna happen. That's 100%. Fucking Trump could not have picked a better fucking candidate. I thought I wanted Vivek. I thought I wanted DeSantis. JD Vance is so fucking good, man. That guy is absolutely gonna be president in the next election. No doubt about it.
Yeah. It needs to be, and they need to set him up that way. Absolutely, they have to.
Yeah.
And I was a big DeSantis fan too. But you know, him staying in Florida and JD Vance, JD Vance is great. And especially his debate, like,
oh yeah.
You know, just like being able to speak in that manner and with everything they're throwing at him. And then even like throwing the shade at the debate or the moderators.
Mm-hmm.
Knew he's debating them too. It's just it was great. It was great.
He made Walz look even worse than he already did.
Yeah, the way that the media sets up these debates, as a Republican, you have to be able to run circles around them to look halfway decent, because they set you up for failure.
Yeah. Republicans are they're never just debating one person. They're always debating the moderators as well. Every fucking time. Thank you very much for the 5, Dr. Gold. Appreciate you, buddy. I'm gonna get down here. Got more super chats down here. Justin Wright for 5 says, at Fort McCoy, the active guard acquired a Bud Light truck, painted it green camo, and drove around the ranges on drill weekends. That's epic.
Acquired? Does that mean they stole it?
Acquired. We acquired a truck in Iraq. I don't know how you acquire a Bud Light truck.
We tactically acquired it.
We did. We had a guy who was a former criminal in our unit, and he taught us how to hotwire fucking vehicles. And we stole a truck one time. I'm sure you. Yeah, is that actually like a standard train in special forces?
What?
To learn how to hotwire vehicles?
In SEER. Yeah.
In SEER school.
Yeah, SEER school. They teach you. I mean, that's why you go for like 87 or older vehicles.
That must be the advanced SEER, because they didn't do that in regular SEER.
Yeah, there's 2 different ones. It depends on there's one that they get pilots and you know.
Yeah, we called in the Air Force, we called the advanced SEER, we called it the advanced beatings.
Yeah.
In your SEER, I know that reported that it was in Navy SEAL SEER. Did they play that World War I poem when you were captured?
Oh yes, they did that in mine for like hours.
They do that crazy for special forces.
I don't remember the.
There's the boot. It's like boots. You know.
Oh yeah. Well, you have to say boots every time your left foot hits the ground.
Oh, that shit was.
You're moving.
They stuck us in the little rooms, and they played that thing for hours on end. It was it drove me crazy.
Is that on babies crying?
They have it on the new trailer for 28 years later. The zombie movie. They play that fucking old fucking creepy ass poem over that, and I didn't know it, but yeah, that's being played in SEER school, which is really fucking cool, because it's about World War. It's about somebody who went through marching as a Brit through Africa, and all they did just was march for hours every single fucking day and just staring at the boots in front of you. So boots, marching along for miles. And basically you're losing your fucking mind, because all you're doing is staring at fucking boots all day long.
Yeah.
They play that for hours while you're sitting in a little cell. That'll drive you crazy.
Yeah. I always just when they have you in the little cell, it's like a you can't stretch out, you can't lay down, like you can just sit there, and then they won't let you out to go to the bathroom either. So I'd always just get as close.
They give you a bucket.
Yeah, well, they didn't even give us a bucket. You're just in this little thrust. and you can't stand up, you can't lay down, like you're just in this like squat sit, position this whole time. And I would just try to pee out the door, so they'd have to step in my pee when they'd come in and check on us. The whole goal, like every time.
I know.
I got slapped a lot in Sear, honestly.
You got slapped a lot.
Oh, dude. I
I
have
mean,
a problem. I have a problem
obviously
with authority.
yeah, obviously they have limits, but they will slap the shit out of you at times.
Oh, dude. And then I was in a winter sear, and one of the interrogators got so mad at me that they took me out to the little pond, and it's like 12 degrees outside. They're like, get you naked and just go stand in it. And I was just like, oh, this is terrible. But it was just because I ran my mouth. But
The best part about SEER is if you could get, because at times they have to break character. They call it academic situation, which means we're on pause right now. We're going to talk kind of man to man to kind of debrief how you're doing in this situation. If you can get them to laugh or whatever to the point where they say academic situation and then they laugh, that's the best part. We've had people do that. It's hilarious.
We had one dude do it, and I still remember. I'll never forget it to this day. You're just in the yard, doing stupid stuff and making, putting all the mulch into a UPA or to a star or whatever they tell you to do it. And then once you get in there, they mess it all up. Well, there's the gate guard, whoever had to open the gate when the guards are going in and out. It's the worst position you have to be in, because you have a thing you have to say every time to them. You have to end it with "I'm a war criminal," whatever. And then, it's just this whole thing that you have to do, and everybody always messes it up. So you always end up getting hit if you're in that position. And this dude got stuck in that position, and no one would switch out with him. And he got hit one time, and he just started doing the robot and was just like dancing, because he was just like, whatever. And all the dudes or all the cadre just like started laughing and had to like walk away. It was great.
Let me see here. Did I already do this 20? Tell Zuck to reaccount. Yeah, I already did that, right? On that with a shot.
I think you did.
Yeah. I have a shot. Okay, well, I must have just poured the shot.
Oh, he's got a newer one.
Yeah, I'm like, I looked at the shot glass on. I don't remember pouring that shot for this. I'm like, did I take a shot for the last one? I gotta get a fucking producer, man. I get so many things going on here at the same time. I get so fucking confused. All right, Wayne Roper 2 says JTAX call for air TLAR. That looks about right. Call for air. That looks about right. All right, I get it. Thank you for the 2 there, buddy. Here's a chug for both of these super chats, including you, Justin Wright.
Chug, 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 chug.
All right. See, I'm gonna get to this $20 super chat, and then we are gonna get to the main story of the day, where our Green Beret buddy here, Green Beret Nap Time, that is his handle. Check him out. He's got at GBNT 1952, which he told me is the year that Green Berets were created. I did not know that. So give him a follow on Twitter. He has been dropping a ton of great information on the entire situation with the Tesla Cybertruck explosion that supposedly was conducted by Matt Livelsberger, 19-year active duty Green Beret. And he's going to give us all the information why that doesn't make any sense and update information on what's been going on lately. But first, Blue Core Devil for another fucking 20. You legend. Says, hell, I did that in basic training / OSUT at Fort Benning on final FTX. My drill sergeant couldn't find me. Scared the shit out of him. He was practically standing on me. Hell yeah. I loved it sometimes. We did one time when we were doing FTX up in Germany, and they made us do fucking break contact drills. We had, fucking 100-pound rucksacks on, and we had to do break contact. We were fucking smoked. And then they wanted to send me out as team lead, as the ATL, as a specialist, and they wanted to send us out for a surveillance operation. And I knew what they wanted to do. They wanted to send us in and have us compromise and do more fucking breaking contact, running our fucking rucksacks. So we were watching a road on a hillside, and on the other side of the road was another hill. So I reported that we were in this position on the hill, but we were actually on the other hill. Like, fuck you, we're not doing this shit again. So it worked. Yeah. It worked. They didn't find us. Thank you very much for the 20 there, buddy. Let's see. Let's go through and do this. Fuck it. Let's do this. Fuck you, Lieutenant. I'm glad Alf can laugh at that. He was an officer.
Yeah.
Wasn't no LT by the end, though.
20 years. Man, and I'm still, I feel like my career hasn't ended, even though besides the fact that I don't have to wear uniform and I don't have to shave, but I'm still working at a higher headquarters as a contractor, so I still feel like I'm in the military.
Yeah, you're making a lot more money now, so that's a big difference. He just retired last year there.
Yeah, back in July. Yeah.
Nice.
Lucky.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to get out, man. It's good to get out.
Yeah. I got out after 9 and I didn't want to. I wanted to be in for 20. If it worked out, actually, my 20 years would have been right when COVID hit. I joined in 2000, so I would have been able to retire in 2020 when they just started forcing the jab, and that would have worked out great.
Yeah.
But things don't work out the way you want to.
Yeah, sometimes they don't.
You actually got out because of the jab, right?
Yeah, I mean, I that was what kind of ultimately made me change my mind. I didn't get out. I mean, as far as the Army was concerned, I got the jab, even though I did not. Which is all. It's kind of a stupid situation because, like, I was a medic, so I had MedPros access and I had all the stuff to write everything in, and they made this huge deal of it. I had a religious exemption in, the whole process, and then they came and told me they were going to put us in a room with a mask on, and you had to just sit there all day if we didn't get the jab. So
what?
Yeah, and then these are like Green Berets too, like
holy shit,
Green Berets. And I was like, all right, if this is the way this unit is going now, like I don't, I was in the process of deciding, did I want to go back to group and take a team, or did I want to, what was I going to do? And then that solved it. I was like, no, I'm out, man. I'm getting out.
What level were these Green Berets? What was this, battalion company commander or something? What?
I mean, the company commander was and the company sergeant major was the messenger, but it was higher than even battalion level, and it was a big thing. I had to go, me and there was like 4 or 5 other dudes that had to go speak to the battalion commander and the battalion CSM, and then we had to go up to group after that and get told that, like we were terrible because we wouldn't do this. And we're like, what? All right, cool.
Was it only your group, or was this across?
No,
SF?
it was pretty much across SF.
So you think it came down from USUC, I assume?
Yeah. It was all the way from the top, and they were pushing it hard on everybody. And then
physical punishment.
Yeah. And then I get my shot record, my shot card or whatever. And I was like, hey, who do you want me to give this shot card to? And they're like, oh, you're a medic. Just put it into MedPros. And I was like, you motherfucking, terrible. Yeah. So.
Okay, we're going to have you on for a whole show just fucking talk about that, because I've got 2 contacts on here. Actually, one introduced me to the other. We've got our guy Drew Outstanding, who is an advocate against the forced jab. We got to be very careful what we say on YouTube because they call it medical disinformation.
Right.
So just call it the jab. Should have told you that ahead of time. I don't know if you've been on YouTube before. So Drew actually got injured by being forced to take it. He became paralyzed as a result. He had Guillain-Barré syndrome, but he's recovering now. He's actually on a cane now, thank God.
Yeah, his Guillain-Barré actually got triggered by the jab.
Yeah, exactly. So he ended up in a wheelchair for a long time and in a coma. And he is now in contact with John Frankman. Are you familiar with him, GB?
No. Was he?
He's
Yeah.
He's a former Green Beret who, he got out.
I don't know him personally, but yes, I'm aware of him. Yeah.
So he still hasn't even been on my show yet, but they all went to the Turning Point USA America Fest where I had a booth out there, and he actually did a bunch of interviews representing Vets Talk, which is very cool. So, so he was former Green Beret, and he got out because of jab. So he's an advocate as well. So I'm going to have all 3 of you guys on sometime. And we'll do a split session on that. We'll do both on YouTube and Rumble, and then go exclusively over to Rumble where we can talk freely about it because,
and I've met Drew.
YouTube.
I've met Drew in person. He's a good dude.
Super
still
good dude. Yeah.
He was still using his scooter, but I think now he's recovered enough that he doesn't have to use it as much. He's walking around.
Yeah. I first met him at MegaFest in Florida last February, and then I saw him again at the RNC in Milwaukee, and I met with him and Alec Baldwin's Finger, another guest that we have on. He never misses. They were at a restaurant, and I went in. I gave them both fist bumps. Hey, what's up, guys? Great to see you. We got done eating. All of a sudden, fucking Drew gets up. I'm like, what the how the hell you?
Yeah, I
how
met
the hell
Drew.
you doing that?
I actually shared a room with Drew at the meetup in June. That was cool. So
yeah, we all, the three of us, split an Airbnb up in Milwaukee. Great way to fucking save money, by the way. Don't do hotel, especially these big events. Go with an Airbnb. It's so much cheaper, but you can't get a refund. I learned that the hard way at Arizona because I ended up last minute, couldn't go to Arizona, could not get a refund on my fucking Airbnb. So couldn't go to the event, $1,000 for my booth there. Couldn't do that, and then I lost another $350 on the Airbnb. So great.
The Airbnb was not refunding people for their rentals in North Carolina after the hurricane, even though the damn houses weren't even there anymore. You couldn't even just stay there. Yeah, and they weren't they were having to fight like tooth and nail to get. I know I have a buddy that I work with that was supposed to go for like a week and a half, and they'd already paid it up front and everything. And they were like, "Oh, we don't refund for natural disasters." Like, what?
Why?
Yeah,
they just don't refund in general. That's fucked up, man.
Yeah,
that's fucked up. What's up, Sarah Talk says you suck needs to be cleaned up for real. I'm not even gonna. Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into what happened to me in PSYOP there. I think I've talked about it before on here. I'll tell you backstage, GB, but USAC Commander fucking fucked me over real bad. That's how my career ended.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing people don't realize about like the military is the second once you get into that flag level officer status, you've been so far removed from a line unit or from like a team or from whatever, where you would actually be doing the work that you're now overseeing, like completely overseeing. And they forget and they don't remember what it's like. Plus, every general is surrounded by 15 or 20 majors that are just yes men. And all they do is just they lie to the general to make sure that the general's happy. And they never telling everybody what's happening. And it's when I was a course manager, I made a few enemies just because we would be in meetings with the general of Second Special or of SWIC all together, going over this like course revamp we were doing. And this major that's never even taken the course that I was managing started talking about my course and saying all the wrong stuff. Like he didn't even know what he was talking about. He's saying all this stuff. And I was like, I got to stop you right there. Like, this is my course. Like I run it and everything you're saying is completely false. And then the, general was General Robeson at the time. He was like, oh, all right, well, let's hear it from you. Why is this? He's like, why are you even talking to that major? And I got a lot of dirty looks, but whatever.
Shit. Yeah, it's fucked, man. And especially fucked because when I watched, what did they end up changing to? It's the Horse Soldiers, but they changed the movie to.
It was 13 Strong.
13 Strong, yeah. And I was really shocked when I watched that because turns out the USAC Command General who fucked me over, he was the commanding officer for that operation. He had a guy playing his character in that movie.
What was his name?
Honestly, I can't remember his name right now, and I don't know if I want to say it on here. Well, it won't hurt anything, but
yeah,
it began with an M. I can't remember, but I'll look it up and I'll tell you. But he was actually under. This guy, hold on. He was actually under investigation by a soldiers advocacy group because he was kicking a lot of guys out on really fucked up terms that gave him dishonorable discharges so the military wouldn't have to pay them. Wow. So they tried, and that's what he tried to do to me, but thankfully I managed to fight it and that didn't happen to me. But yeah, he was actually under investigation for that too. He's a fucking yes man that's just kissing ass to get promoted, basically. What were you gonna say, Alf?
I can't remember what I was gonna say, but I got screwed over similarly because I retired as a major. I should have been a lieutenant colonel, but because of the inner politics of the officer corps in the Guard unit I was in the state I was in, they were favoring the people that were in their inner club, I guess you could say, and I wasn't part of that because it was mostly fighter pilots, and we were attack B unit, and we were bringing home Bronze Stars. They were not deploying anywhere. When they deployed, they would go to like Puerto Rico, and they'd call that a deployment. And we're going to Afghanistan and all bringing home Bronze Stars, every single one of us. And so they were just fucking jealous of us. So
Yeah.
I wasn't part of the crowd. The inner like mafia, the fighter pilot mafia, wasn't part of them. So
Go fucking figure. Yeah. By the way, I do want to shout Sarah Talks. I just remembered I talked to Sarah Talks. She's another big personality on the Twitter. She does Twitter Spaces. I think her handle is at the Sarah Talks. Remind me if that's right.
Yep.
I know.
We're gonna do one on Thursday about the child sex trafficking rings and stuff.
Okay. Definitely check them out. Yeah, these two. She's a fucking nerd, but fucking all the like the coolest fucking nerd you ever see. She is fucking big time smarts over there. Yeah, sorry I didn't recognize you right away, but welcome to the stream. And yeah, she's also been following a lot of the situation with the Cybertruck. And with that, let's go ahead and segue into that, man. I want to play before we get to all the information that you've got over there, GB. Video popped today. Let me see where it is. The FBI giving a report on information on the situation. I don't have my fucking tabs. I fucked up. Okay. I'll just break it down then. The FBI came out and said that they were able to confirm that the email from Proton Mail was actually from Matt Livelsberger. So GB, because you are very opinionated on that whole thing with the email, if you could break down for the audience, because I haven't been on a live stream talking about this story yet. If you could break down a little bit on the email first, and then what your opinion is on that.
Yeah. So what they confirmed, I think, is that it came from his device. So I think there's a difference between saying that somebody absolutely wrote something and sent something, or if someone's device wrote something or sent something. Now, not to say that it wasn't, but here's I did a thread on this, and here's my whole problem with this entire email, and it just goes back to none of this really makes sense. And then so unless this guy had a just complete mental break, and we're talking like what's the Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe, like a complete mental, like that's what I'm talking about. Like that had to happen, or
he was like seeing shit happening that wasn't actually happening.
Yeah, he was doing dead drops, for like a contact in the government, and like none of it existed. So, I mean, we're at that level with this email. So I kind of break it down. Like the first thing about the email that doesn't make sense is the bona fides that he used. So for those of you who don't know, bona fides is how you confirm who you are or to someone else. So it would be, sometimes in movies or TV shows, they'll do like a question with an answer, right? It doesn't necessarily mean anything to anybody else, but to those two people, that's the bona fides. They exchange them, and that's how they know that, you are who you say you are, or you're on the good guy team, or whatever it is. Okay. So in this email, he starts out and it says, my first car was a 2006 black Ford Mustang. All right. Well, we got his vehicle records. He never owned a 2006 Ford Mustang. And then talking to some people he went to high school with and knew him when he was younger, his first car was a 1998 Ford Mustang. Well, there was so right there off the bat, bona fides are wrong. So that's kind of a red flag to me, that like this person doesn't know. And then so in the Sean Ryan podcast and some of these others, they were talking about that maybe that was a ISO prep answer. And for those of you who don't know, ISO prep is a thing we do before you deploy. It's so that if you get captured or taken, or if you're under arrest or something, it's the same kind of thing as bona fides. It's asked questions with a certain answer, but it's the whole point of it is not to be truthful. It's not something that someone could find out about you. So you do come up with your own little answer for it. So like, well, he didn't own a 2006 black Ford Mustang. He just did that for his ISO prep. Well, that doesn't make sense, because Sean Ryan and Sam Shusor or whatever, like they don't have access to ISOPrep, right? ISOPrep is unit held information. So like you give that to your unit. If you were ever captured or taken, whatever, they would pass that along to the team or to whoever was coming to get you or save you or do whatever, and then they would use the ISOPrep to confirm who you are when they were retrieving you. But like that doesn't make sense to use that. And Matt would know that, So again, unless he just lost his mind and he's like, oh, Sean was a CIA guy, he'll know my ISOPrep. That that's the only way that would make sense. Okay. So that's the first little thing that for me that was wrong and off. The second thing, if you go through the next line, he immediately states, I am not under duress or hostile influence or control. And again, that's just that's a red flag. When have you ever wrote something to someone, and then you're like, hey, by the way, I'm not under duress. Like what? Well, now I think you kind of are because you said that, so that's a red flag. And if you look at it like a psychological profile, yeah, it raises unnecessary suspicion. It's kind of considered overcompensation. It's volunteering information that was not asked for, or was, there's no reason to have it, or it could be considered a way to create a narrative. So that, all those two things together, already adding up to be some weird stuff. And if you keep going down the email, he starts talking, and this is when it kind of starts getting really crazy. He starts talking about the drones. And gravitic propulsion systems, which right now is really a theoretical thing. I don't know. I'm not a drone guy. I did a few little things with like smaller drones here and there when I was on a team, but nothing like crazy. But the main point of all of this is that, he talks about all this stuff and he talks about his OPSIN and whatever. There's no, and at the very bottom of the email, he says he has TSSCI with UAP USAP access, which UAP means UFOs, right? So that means like alien stuff, right? And then
which we talked about in our video.
Right.
Why would somebody in 10th SF group have access?
Yeah, that's exactly. And so and then USAP is an unacknowledged special access program, and so a special access program is it's basically a highly compartmentalized program that's top secret SCI, and you'd be a part of that program with a read on and a need to know. And there's no such there are special access programs in 10th group, they're usually a little higher up, but you could actually be in one from 10th group potentially, but not a UAP one, and not with like drones, like that's not a special forces thing. That would be far higher. Or
like maybe JSOC. I mean, maybe those guys would be involved.
Maybe, yeah. There is probably someone within JSOC, and then you're talking about DARPA. You're talking about maybe DevGru. Like those kind of units would potentially have some people involved in that, but like not an operator. Right. Your JSOC operator is not. You're talking about people in JSOC that are going to be, they're scientists and stuff. Those would be part of that program. So that doesn't make sense, right? So he goes in with that, which is weird. And then, talking to his teammates, he was SUAS qualified, which is small unmanned aircraft systems, which that's drones that are 55 pounds or lighter, right? Mm-hmm. So these are small drones. These are usually used by teams for like reconnoitering, or for some of them have like small explosives, and you could use them as targeting and other things like that. But that's it. There's nothing like, they're not too crazy, and it wouldn't be involved in any of this bigger stuff. So that's a red flag, right? Because now you're talking about things that you just, in your current position, you could not possibly be involved in.
Yeah, anything like that, like we're talking about, like if you're talking about like UFO shit, I'm sure you're going to get into stuff about China and all that kind of stuff. That's need to know. Like if you had a secret, even if you had like a secret, fucking, not even like these advanced high shit, but even my terminology is fucking up. But you don't just get to go access any fucking files,
right? No, like if you like saying, and this is another thing, and anybody who has a clearance knows this, like. If you tell someone I have a TSSCI, like, and anybody who's like in this world will look at you and be like, oh, cool, bro. Like, no one fucking cares. All right. No one cares that you have that. And even then, like, people don't mess around with their clearances like that. Like you don't talk about stuff that you're doing in your clearance, because that, I mean, if you happen to say something about a top secret project that you were a part of and it got out that you said that to somebody that's not a part of that project, or even if you were talking about it with someone who was a part of it and somebody else heard that is not a part and is not cleared and not read on, like, you can get in serious trouble. I mean, you're not Hillary Clinton, bro. Like, you're not going to be able to delete these emails and just walk away scot-free, right? Like, you're going to jail like that, and you're losing your clearance forever. So that stuff, like, none of that really makes sense. And then he goes into China. So like, he goes into all this stuff about this is all China and China's doing this and China's doing that. Like, bro, one, your 10th group's AO is Europe, especially Eastern Europe. So like, if you'd have been saying maybe something about Russia, like, then that's kind of your area of responsibility, but China's not. So like, where did all this come from? That's just MSM talking points, really. That's what those next like 3 little paragraphs are about. And that just, that for me was just like, why would you even now you're just rambling. Honestly, it was like, it's someone who got drunk and it's just like, and China's flying drones and we're going to go to World War III. That's what it read like to me.
Yeah.
So,
then like real quick though, he was talking about like matter of fact, like he was privy to the intel that these are coming out specifically out of submarines that have been off the shore for a long time. They've been doing this for he actually has the intelligence reports in front of him.
Yeah,
and there's no way that he would.
No,
yeah.
I mean, when you have a TSSCI, you're only accessing that kind of information in a skiff, right? You're not
right.
you can't walk out with any of that information. It has to stay in that skiff, and that's the whole reason the skiffs exist. So
and to use a comparison for people who aren't familiar with this, like as an example of the differences in the levels, when I was deployed with PSYOP in 2005 to 06, there's a red net, green net. You can flip this little switch on your fucking computer. Green net is everything clear. There's nothing classified that goes through. I can switch over to the red net, which is the secret classified areas, and I can access through there anything that is secret level classified. It doesn't go higher than that, but I was able to access and see videos and pictures of shit that's not supposed to be out there, but that's at that level. You go higher than that, it is need to know access. You can't just turn on the red net and see things about UFOs and fucking China.
No, you can't. Like, not at all. I mean, you have some stuff you can look at, but anything that's part of a special access program, like, you're absolutely not being able to look at. You'd actually, if you tried to look into it, it would throw a flag and you would have to explain why you were trying to even look into that.
Exactly.
Right. So all that doesn't make sense. And if you go in, keep going down the email now, he goes into, I've been being followed for over a week from likely Homeland or FBI, blah, blah, blah. Goes into this whole thing. He has a massive VBED. And then he's like, and then, so how does this make sense, man? So, okay. One, just for a little background about Matt, he was a Jedburgh. All right. And so, like, I'm not going to go into exactly what that is. Just think of it as like the spy stuff, like secret squirrel stuff. That's what Jedburghs do. They're highly trained. They get a bunch of extra training on all this different things, how to do SDRs, which is a surveillance detection route, things like that. Like, he would be trained to how to handle a situation that he thought he was being tailed in. But then he says, I've been trying to maintain a very visible profile and I keep my phone on me. Like, okay, so you have a VBED, like, massive, you said, and you think you're being followed, but you're like allowing them to follow you. And so for those of you that, like, an SDR is actually, you're not supposed to let the people that are following you know that they're following you, like the whole point. And but the reason for this is because if you're doing clandestine activities in a country, right? Like, say you are working with a team and you're trying to do certain things, right? And you push out 3 or 4 guys or whoever at a time, right? Someone might get picked up and have a tail. And then so if you do get picked up, now your mission for that day is to just waste their time. Like, that's it. Now you do a SDR so you can determine whether you're being followed or not. And if you are being followed, now you're going to Barnes and Noble, or you're going to the mall and you're going to get yogurt and you're going to walk around and you're going to do all these things. You're going to act like you don't know you're being followed, but you're going to obviously make it look like you're not doing anything clandestine, right? And then while your other guys who are not being followed, they're going to be going and doing all the work that they had planned for that day, so on and so forth. So he would know that, right? And so, like, in this situation, when it's your own government, if you thought that they were targeting you and you thought that they were after you, you would do everything in your power to not be visible, to not rent a truck in your name online, and then not rent a Cybertruck, which is a rolling live streaming
box.
trackable surveillance box. Like, it's the like I mean, if the goal really is to make sure that someone sees you at all times, then okay, I guess renting that is what you would do. But if you're actually trying to get away and you're trying to go to Mexico and you're trying to escape, like, then it's not what you rent, you know. And that's where I went into the like, you would get an older vehicle, preferably 87 or older, because one, they don't have the locking mechanism attached to so if you were to hotwire it, that's what's 90s cars and newer. If you try to do something with that, you also have to overcome the locking mechanism on the steering column, right? So if you break in and you start it without a key, that steering column locks up. You know, when you move a wheel before you like put the key in fully, and it like locks and you can't move it. It does that if you try to hotwire these newer vehicles. So it's just, none of that made sense, right? So why would you keep your phone on you? You know, why would you be texting your ex? And like, supposedly you switch phones. Oh, and that's another thing I want to talk about. The signal, we talked about that on the last show. If you remember the signal safety number changing. Right. And so that's kind of when I was like, that maybe someone had his device, or had cloned his device, or had access to his device, because then, they could write whatever they wanted and it would be attributed to him when they sent it. But that signal safety number changing on what was December 29th is very odd. And so, why did that signal safety number change on the 29th, which it also could have been late the 28th because of the time change with Germany, because all the people that are reporting that signal to safety number changing on the 29th are 8 hours ahead, so technically anytime 1600 or later on the 28th would show up as the 29th of that change, because it doesn't actually give you a timestamp. It just gives you the date. So that's why I find it, with all these other inconsistencies going on with it, that's kind of weird. And
so real quick, because people are popping in. What's up, Shy? Just to let everybody know, what we're talking about is the Cybertruck bombing that happened on New Year's Day. It was supposedly done, if you don't know, by a currently active 19-year Green Beret. So we have Green Beret nap time here, GB, to break down everything that we think happened, because none of the story makes any damn sense. So that's what we're talking about right now. Sorry, please continue.
Yeah. So we just went through. Yeah, we went through the inconsistencies of him, the training that he has, and then doing all the things that you wouldn't do after having that training. And another thing we found, that so his Proton mail is the same as an old IG account. So there was always, like, that was definitely either it was him or somebody created it and used the same name that they knew he'd used somewhere else. And that was kind of the thought process on that. But again, when the FBI when they tell us something, I don't always believe it. They told us he shot himself before the explosion happened too, and there's a video and you can clearly see a live person without a bullet in their brain. When that explosion goes off. So everyone's got to remember that I'm not saying that the FBI just straight up is lying to us all the time, but the FBI only cares about protecting their investigation and their narrative of that investigation. So
I don't know, man. I really feel like the FBI, I lean towards believing the total and complete opposite of what they say all the fucking time.
I mean, you're not wrong thinking that way, honestly. Another weird thing, and people outside of our community aren't really going to understand this next part, but when he goes into talking about, he talks about the war crimes, and then he talks about where, when he was deployed, he was under US FORA, which US FORA is an acronym for United States Forces Afghanistan. That's conventional level. Like, that's the highest level of conventional command that would be over Afghanistan, right? We don't fall under that when we are in Afghanistan. We fall under the TSOC, which is going to be a Special Operations Command, which will be either at that point in 2019, it was a SJTF A, which is a Special Operations Joint Task Force, Afghanistan. When I was there, it was the Siege of SOTF, which is the combined joint special operations joint task force. So like the names change a lot, but again, you know, as a Green Beret or as anyone that's in the special ops world, you fall under that TSOC. You're not talking like when I was in Afghanistan, ISAF was there, right? ISAF was the conventional, the highest command for conventional forces. We didn't fall under ISAF. So if I would have like wrote a letter saying that I was doing stuff for ISAF, it would have been really weird because like I didn't actually work for ISAF. You know, I wouldn't even say that acronym because it wasn't something that I had done. So, and then the other thing is US FORA was an old name too. It had actually been changed to RSM. And so like, even, you know, I've heard that before, like Resolute Support Mission, which
I was there under Resolute Support.
Right. And so you would have called it that, not US FORA, I'm assuming.
Right.
Right. So just naming these things, really weird things, like using this verbiage that a Green Beret would not use. I mean, when I'm talking to other Green Berets, like if someone said US FORA, I'd be like, what? Like, why are you saying that anyways? You know? So that's weird. And then he goes into the war crimes and like, all right, dude, like, bro, I'm sorry, but no one gives a shit about like CivCast happens. Bombs get dropped. Like war sucks. People die that weren't supposed to die. And most of the time it wasn't like they didn't mean for that to happen. I mean, it just happens, you know, like sometimes there's fog of war at all times, even with ISR, even with all the technology we have, there's still fog of war. You just never actually know. I mean, and then you also have to remember that terrorists know that we have CivCast guidelines. So they hide behind civilians and they carry civilians with them as shields so that you won't bomb them, or they take over hospitals, or they take over whatever. So you can't bomb them. Right. And it happens.
What was it? I can't remember in the email. Did he say what specifically the operation was, the war crime he was talking about?
No. And this is another thing. He says, I conducted targeting for these strikes of over 125 buildings. Okay. Like one, SF dudes, I'm not saying earlier in the war, SF dudes were doing a lot of targeting, but in 2019, they were not. I mean, I knew a couple of sergeant majors that were over there at the SOTF level that were in charge of a lot of things. And there was not a bunch of SF teams doing targeting at that point in the war. That's a completely different kind of mission set that we're talking about here. And honestly, in 2018 and 19 was really when almost all kinetic operations stopped. I mean, when I was there in 2014, we couldn't do anything without the SOC. You know, we were with Second SOC out of Jalalabad, and like we couldn't even do anything without first. And then it moved to like we were going in UH-60s. First, we were going in Chinooks with them, you know, and hitting objectives with them. But then after that, it changed towards the end of the trip. We had to go in UH-60s, and they had to go on their own birds and do their own hits while we just did Overwatch. So when you're talking about 2018 and 19, like you're not doing kinetic stuff, you know, on the regular. Like there may have been a few kinetic missions here and there, but nothing like he's talking about. And in targeting 125 buildings, like, come on, that's just stupid.
It's Afghanistan. The only location where you see that many buildings is in Kabul.
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, for anyone who's been to Afghanistan, it's like a little village is just like a bunch of little compound houses that are kind of put together with mud walls around them, you know? And so like, the whole thing was just kind of silly. And then also like he would have known like 2019, it's already on record that we dropped more bombs in that year and we had more civilian casualties that year than we'd ever had in the war. So
In what year?
In 2019, we dropped more bombs in 2019 than we ever had in Afghanistan. Lots of bombs, but it's a known thing. Like, I mean,
I was there in 16 and 17. And 17, right after I left, because we had a group of our guys from my own unit that replaced us. They said the amount of bombs that were being dropped ramped up during their time there.
Yeah, and it's just once you get into a political climate where like if a U.S. soldier goes down, it's a huge deal. Bombs are the next response, right? We're going to drop a lot more bombs because we're not going to be sending in and doing kinetic strikes anymore. We're not going to put our soldiers at risk. So we're going to accept this degree of risk that there's going to be civcasts because we're going to drop more bombs to get rid of the fighters that we're trying to fight instead of just fighting them on the ground. And so that's what it changed to towards the end of the war there. And everyone knows this. And so this common knowledge, right? And it's not war crimes. It's just war. That's what, like, a civilian casualty happening in war is not a war crime. It just happens.
Well,
I mean,
by that time in the war, we were trying to help the Afghani forces get up and running to the point where they could do things themselves. So we were supporting them with airstrikes, hoping that they would, do what we expected them to do. They didn't always, The ANA was an awful force. Like, their version of special forces was basically like a semi-competent, conventional American unit.
Dude.
yeah.
You look at, so when I was on my tour, my second tour in Iraq, we were working with the Marines in the Al Anbar province, Western Iraq, and bro, the reason that they needed fucking PSYOP support so heavily was because the Marines were in there just raising fucking hell. They were killing everybody. We had all those fucking reports of all the fucked up shit. One fucking Marine goes down and these dudes just fucking mow down entire buildings. You want to talk about fucking war crimes. I mean, I don't want to say the Marines are committing war crimes, but they're doing what fucking Marines do. So yeah, GB, exactly what you're talking about. It makes no sense that a career operator is going to get all. Over this.
Marines are shock troops. If you send a Ranger battalion in, they're shock troops. And that's part of if you go all the way back and look at early Afghanistan, in 2003, SF had Afghanistan tied up. Well, SF and the CIA together had Afghanistan tied up in a little knot, and the Taliban was on their last little leg. And we're talking about the Northern Alliance, right? Northern Alliance is a conglomeration of warlords. They're not great people, obviously, but they're better than the Taliban, and they actually just, were actually wanted to protect Afghanistan. And then the big army and the, big Air Force and everyone, saw what was happening and wanted to get involved. And so if you haven't read about Operation Anaconda, definitely go give that a read.
Yep.
But Operation Anaconda is kind of what changed the whole direction of the war in Afghanistan. And it's what allowed the Taliban, instead of pushing them out of Afghanistan, it basically gave them a stronghold, and then it broke up the Northern Alliance. And then everything kind of fell apart. And part of the problem with that is, and this is not a dig on conventional forces at all. Conventional forces are absolutely necessary, but to a conventional unit, a bad guy looks like an Afghan, or when you're in Iraq, a bad guy looks like an Iraqi. You don't know the difference necessarily between who's Taliban and who's not. And so we had a lot of what would be considered kind of like green on blue or blue on blue, or however you want to call it, but we had a lot of issues with that, and it ended up, that loss in Operation Anaconda and the massive failure that it was, ended up breaking up the Northern Alliance. And then now everything falls apart and the Taliban resurges through, and boom, then we have 20 years of war. So so the war crime stuff, none of that really makes sense, man. None of that makes sense with me. So and then my other problem with everything is that the manifesto that they had on his phone that they found from the vehicle. If you really look at that, and then we had AI look at it too, again, versus the email, pretty sure they're written by two different people, or at least they're written by a person with a completely different mindset than the first, like at one, they were in at one point and then mental break, and then the other one's written or something. So
yeah, they're saying that he changed his meds too. So
yeah, I don't know about all of that, and I mean, I don't know. I've read a little bit about that stuff, and you're hearing from people saying that he was, certain people that knew him. It's hard to say, because people will say a lot of things for fame. Hey, will you talk to me? Like, what do you know? They're like, oh yeah, I know he was crazy and he was changing his meds. And like, did they really know? Right? Do we have his medical records? I don't know. So that one's difficult. And you always got to be kind of skeptical about why people do certain things. and why they say certain things especially about someone, even if they didn't really know them. So that,
Well, I mean, so a little bit of a tangent. I mean, one thing, like, I've been keeping track, the one commonality that we always see when you get these like school shooters and mass casualty events, like it always has the people are always on fucking psych meds. Like that's the one commonality every single fucking time is they're on some sort of like SSRI or some shit like that. And it really makes you wonder if like I think I can't remember if we talked about it, but I've talked about it with other people. What's the possibility that these people and even Matt were being, given medication that's making them controllable, like they were being influenced to do something.
That's some terminal list shit right there.
Oh, I gotta
ask.
On that
exactly.
on that vein, I gotta ask because we've had an inordinate amount of people with issues like that came from the same base. What was it? Where did this guy come from? Where he was trained at?
He was stationed in Germany.
Yeah, he wasn't before he went to Germany. Though Germany was a recent. I think that was 2021. Before that, he was at Carson.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, I was saying that before. Like, I didn't recall 10th SF being because main 10th S group is in Colorado. I didn't know that. Is it just an ODA, a battalion? What kind of element?
It's a forward battalion. So first group and 10th group both have a forward battalion. First is in Okinawa, Japan, and then 10th group has one in Germany.
Gotcha. And that also explains, we talked about this on the video. By the way, guys, if you're out there, if you haven't already watched the video with me and GB here, check it out. It's in go to the video section. I don't have it in a playlist yet. But yeah, we were talking about the fact because a lot of people were speculating that maybe he was some sort of a leftist operative because there's a picture of him wearing a pro-Ukraine shirt. But GB here explained that the AO they were working in prior to the Russian invasion, they were working with Ukraine. They did a lot of training with Ukraine, so he's going to be sympathetic with them because he spent a lot of time with the Ukrainian troops. It doesn't mean that he is pro-Ukraine war, or anything like that. It's just that he worked with these guys, and I'm sure you could explain it better.
Yeah, so SF groups have area responsibilities. So when I was first in, third group was mainly Afghanistan, Central Asia, Afghanistan. I went to my first trip was to Tajikistan, right? So there's just, you all have, every group has their little AO that they do stuff in. All right. And with 10th group being Europe, and then it's specifically Eastern Europe, because where's the threat, right? The adversary is Russia. So they trained with a lot of Eastern European countries, and then especially Ukraine, especially talking about when you're getting closer to about 2016 when they go in and take Crimea. So SF dudes have been in Ukraine for a long time, and they've been doing stuff in Ukraine for a long time. And so if they wear Ukrainian shirts or something like that, you can attribute that to the work that they've done in that area, not that they're looking at it from a leftist perspective of like, we love Ukraine. Like lefties figured out that Ukraine existed 4 years ago, maybe. And, these guys have been there for years, working with these dudes and training the Ukrainian special forces and the Ukrainian conventional forces. So yeah, that wouldn't be anything, because people posted that, he was recruiting people to go work in Ukraine. Like, no, he wasn't. All right. He had contacts, and he was in people that are, Green Berets that are out or done, and they want a contract to go do something somewhere. That war zones is where it pays, and there's not very many war zones right now. So I have buddies that have been over to Ukraine a couple of times, and I can tell you that they're not like lefty Ukrainian. Most of them are Trump supporters, and they're going for a contract to do the job that they have been trained to do.
Yeah. So so again with the email lease, so I know we definitely bashed on the video oh god, brain fart. What was the show?
The Sean Ryan
show. Yeah. Because this guy Sam, who's the one who got the email, your point, GB, is that he clearly did not vet this. They jumped to assumptions, assuming that maybe he did make this, that he was actually alive. that something that there was something else happened, that basically this is an entire operation that Matt himself, the Green Beret in the situation with the Cybertruck explosion, that he set this entire thing up to bring attention and to try to get the feds off his tail. But your entire point is that the email does not sound right. That's that Sam guy who had the email initially, he retracted his story in some way. Can you want to talk about that?
Well, so initially what had happened, and I'm not faulting Sean Ryan or Sam for coming forward with that email. I mean, yeah, vetting stuff, that's important. If they'd given it a more critical look, I think in the initial show when they released it, they could have said a few more things, like some disclaimers, like, hey, this is crazy because of this. This is crazy because of this, but we're just going to read it to you so you have it and it gets out there. Because, and I get why they did it, because if Sam would have just sent that to the FBI, no one's seeing this email, right? Like they're not going to release it. It's never going to see the light of day. So they wanted to get it out there so at least people had the information. So I don't fault them for that at all. And I don't fault them. I mean, they were trying to get it out kind of quickly, and then neither of them are Green Berets. So they don't have the same kind of insight in the way to look at it like me or some of the other guys like Matt Tardio, who's done a lot of stuff on the subject. They don't have that expertise to look at that and say, hey, this is how a Green Beret would look at this, or this is how we were trained, and so on and so forth. So I don't even fault them for that. The only thing that I faulted at all was that the way they released it in a text editor, like copy and paste it in, instead of releasing it and just show, they could redact it. And there was when we did a little space right after the Sean Ryan show, the second one where they, the Sean Ryan live space that they did and kind of explained everything. Mm-hmm. And then Sam had he uploaded the technical data and he showed a video of him opening the emails and stuff. And that's how they should have released it from the get-go. So again, because anytime you get information, right, and you start vetting it, right, and you start looking at this information, and what they posted was all in a text editor. So people start pointing out these little inconsistencies that are in this, like, hey, why is there squiggly lines under the misspelled words or the acronyms looking like this is being written right now? Like, did you just write this all on your computer and then post this up? And there's a cursor visible in the thing that they posted initially, right? So all these things got in a deep dive, people looked into them, and then they were like, you're faking this, right? Well, it's Sam. And then it took them, about 72 hours to finally post all the stuff, to show that it was in fact genuinely an email that they received. Right. And so that ruled out that, again, like the worst case scenario you're thinking here is like, did Sam create this to get notoriety or to whatever, which is crazy, because if he did that, like that's a federal crime, right? Especially when it's fraud. And then if you gave it over to the FBI, now there's all kinds of other felonies you break in there. So that was really nothing that I was like this. I didn't ever really think that, like, there's no way this dude could be that dumb to do this. Okay. First of all, and he didn't. He posted the video of him opening up the emails and showing, that they were sent to him and blah, blah, blah. But so we ruled that out, but it just took so long to get that now everyone's like, oh, there's this is wrong with it, along with all these other inconsistencies are wrong with it. And so it just made it really hard to know what to trust. And so that was the main issue that had happened. And that was why people were kind of upset and thinking that it was fraudulent at the time. And so that's kind of been, that part at least has been rectified, and that everything is cool with that. But it's still, there's still all those other inconsistencies involved with the email when you're looking at it.
Yeah. One of the other things that that Sam came back with is he said that he, to be fair, like since we talked, I haven't been really keeping up with a whole lot, so that's why I'm asking you to give us the updates on everything that's new. But I did see a clip of him saying that he learned that Matt had a mental break, that he changed his meds. Where did all that information come from? Who was saying that?
So they interviewed I think it was an ex-girlfriend or something, and said that she had talked to him and he was depressed and he gained weight and blah, 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 and all this stuff. But again, like how much faith are you going to put into this person who's now doing an interview and is getting some notoriety out of this? Like, like people say a lot of things to get put on behind, on a screen so they can get their voice heard. Right. So that I don't take any, a lot of that kind of stuff, if I see it, I'm kind of just like, I don't know how truthful that is in this regard. And I can't tell you exactly, obviously, what happened. I'm poking holes, man. I get the information that comes out and I look at it and I give my perspective and poke holes into it. And then it's up to somebody else to fill that hole with the truth. And, because I can't tell you what happened in that cab right before it exploded, right? I can't tell you who was in there. I can't tell you what, the only thing that's going to tell us that is the video of it happening, or, and then, but the FBI is saying that, they positively identified his body. Now they're saying DNA does match, the dental has matched. So you gotta either be like, okay, the FBI is straight lying to us, or most likely scenario is that Matthew did have a mental break, and whether it built over some time or not, or what happened, I don't know, so, but all I did was I looked at all this stuff and kind of looked at it from a logical and reasoning perspective from what a Green Beret is trained. And then what I would think, I would do in that situation, or anyone else, any other Green Beret would do in that situation. And none of it made sense. And none of it still makes sense, even though I'm more leaning towards that. Like, he probably did just decide or went crazy and then ended up taking his own life. So, well,
and to be like, to at least, poke the hole and show why it's so hard to believe the FBI. This is from the video that I did. But shout out to, that's why I say it up here, shout out to Daniel Davis Deep Dive. He's the one who actually edited this and came up with this whole thing. This is a video that shows, like, you can see in here, the FBI said he shot himself with a 50 cal Desert Eagle before the explosion went off. This is a video right before the explosion. You can see he's propped up. You can see his head turn right there. He would either be slumped over forward or all the way back, and his head would be fucking gone because it got shot with a fucking 50 cal. But even right before this, you see him moving inside the truck. He is clearly moving one way or another right before the explosion goes off. And somebody questioned this. He clearly had some sort of a detonator that set off this fireball right here that was in the passenger side. And then that's what proceeded to explode in the backside. But as you can see with the light on here, face clearly illuminated. You can see the steering wheel clearly illuminated. His head did fucking turn. He was not dead. And I think you said that you theorized something on it, because some people are saying that. I think I could see, well, there's me. You can see, like, maybe the possibility is that a fireball went off. Now he's on fucking fire, and the explosion didn't actually kill him. So maybe he used the fucking gun to say, oh, I don't want to fucking burn to death, so I'm going to fucking kill myself. What are your thoughts on that? Yeah, I mean, that's like one of the first logical things to come of all of this, right? Like, if he had a mental break and created this little bomb out of fireworks and stuff that doesn't make sense to make a bomb, but hey, whatever, people crazy, if someone had lost their mind, maybe they forget some of the things that they had learned, or maybe he just didn't think he had access to certain things. I don't know. $150, you can go to a hardware store and make a better bomb, right. Especially with the guys that are trained with what we're trained with. But it does make sense to me that if it, he cooked it off and then now he's just burning. He didn't die from the blast, and he's just burning, and he has his gun now, and like that's the way to get out of this this turmoil, So that one does make sense if that's what ended up happening, but it just still doesn't explain to me. I mean, even the whole mental break thing, even if that's the hypothesis we're going with, why is his manifesto so much different from the email? Like written so differently, not just the information that's in them, but the sentence structure, the language that's used. It's just different, and so that's just weird to me. It's just, there's so many other things, like, why did he buy 2 guns on the 29th when he obviously should have had his own? What Green Beret doesn't have his own guns? And why would he buy, like you point out, that a Desert Eagle is not something Green Beret would have, and he had an AR style rifle that had no sights, not even iron sights on it. Yeah, no sights. I tell you, I've never met a Green Beret that has a Desert Eagle 5.0. No, not one, not a single one. I don't know one. I don't know that there's even one that actually exists, unless you were just like buying it to like put on
in a
Yeah.
case or something because it was gold. Like, but again, it's not a Guy Ritchie movie. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
the only reason to own one of those is just for morbid curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like having a fucking hand cannon, you know, like a fucking Magnum 45 or something like that. You know, it hurts like hell to fucking shoot. I don't like shooting that shit.
No, yeah, I have a 454 that was a gift, and I've shot it one time, and now it's a revolver that is going to be on in a gun case, and it's because it was a gift. It was cool, like it's cool like that. But I would never have went and bought it myself, you know. And so it's just it doesn't make sense. It's definitely not something that you would buy if you thought you were like the rifle. If you thought you were going to get an engagement, like you're trying to go to Mexico, you're trying to get out of here, you have this whole thing going on or whatever. The rifle would make sense to get if you put actual sights on it, right? If you put optics on it, because then you have something you can actually use in an engagement. But if Desert Eagle 50, you're not going to use an engagement. You get 7 rounds. You know, like every Green Beret I know is going to pick a Glock 17 and go with that 100% of the time. So,
yeah. If you go, and I mean, I have a full kit I bought after the military. I've got a plate carrier, chest rig, fucking everything. If he's going, like, if he's in such a serious threat where he believes he's being followed by the feds, he need all his protection. Don't you think the FBI would report? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he probably would have at least brought a chest rig or something to carry extra ammunition in.
Yeah, I mean, especially so, like if you go to 110th from, you know, you've been at Carson most of your career, and then you go to 110th, like you're gonna leave a lot of that. You're not taking a lot of your stuff to Europe with you. You're either leaving it, you either have family or whatever you have around, or you're getting a storage unit and or you know, whatever it is, like you're having that stuff put somewhere stateside because you're coming back CONUS at some point. Like it's not necessarily it's not TDY. It is a PCS, but it's not like you're going to be there for like 2-3 years max, and then you're coming back to Carson. And that's the way those work, unless you volunteer to stay there and you want to live it. Like if you wanted to live in Germany and you and your family and stuff, then I guess that could be, but you're still not taking all your stuff. You're still going to have stateside, you know, you're going to have some kind of storage. You're going to have something going for all of your, So he would have had a plate carrier and all that. And if you're worried about, you know, something happened to you or you're fearing for your life, 100%, you're going to your cache and you're going to go get whatever you need to make sure that you have.
I'm sure he'd have that all ready to go.
You're going to your go bag or you're going to wherever and you're getting the stuff that you have and you've already and then another thing that I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but who buys a rifle that you haven't zeroed?
Exactly.
And then you're carrying this around. That's not a zero. You don't have optics on it, and you have no ability to zero that. That rifle is useless in your hands beyond 5 meters.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I had somebody to try to argue. Okay, well, first, I mean, his entire point was stupid, but I guess like the idea is like you're just gonna go and fucking spray and pray, basically. If he's trying to get mass casualties, but one thing's pointed, like it's very obvious he wasn't doing this to hurt or kill anybody. That the explosive it hardly even did it didn't even damage the fucking windows. And then on top of that, what's he gonna do after he already blew himself up in the fucking truck? Go out running in a blaze of glory, literally shooting people on fire?
I think part of it. I think so. You have to look at it too. Like he had a mental break. He had these gas canisters in inside of this Cybertruck, right? I've never actually been in a Cybertruck. If it's in the bed and it's enclosed, is that still is that open to the cab or is there a divider?
I don't know.
Does anybody know that? I've never been in one, and I've never even really seen inside of one.
I've seen one in person, but I haven't seen the inside.
I watched Whistling Diesel fucking destroy one, and I do think I saw it with I don't think there is access. No, it's
closed off from the bed.
Yeah,
it would have.
I didn't think about that.
Anything he would want to get reached to would have to be in the back seat or up front with him.
But just how in the fuck did that fireball that we see in the video affect what was in the fucking trunk?
Yeah, see, I don't know that doesn't make sense to me unless he had gas canisters in the back seat. and then you had them open, and then you got fumes, and fumes build up in there over hours and hours and hours. Then maybe, that if you did something, like even if you clicked a lighter or something, then you could potentially set yourself off and on accident, and then potentially set off the stuff in the bed. But why are you putting gas canisters?
We're not hearing this from the FBI. By now they would absolutely know. I mean, a fucking fire chief will be able to go in and find out what the what's terminology, what started the fire initially. We know that in the back is gas canisters and fucking fireworks, but what was that fireball that was in the passenger seat in front of him? What was that initiated? They haven't told us. They should know.
It could have been as much as a canister full of gas in the front seat.
Yeah, but then how does that? You're right, GB. I get what you're saying. Like maybe an accumulation of fumes, but yeah, that trunk, I swear, is actually completely separated from the fucking cab of the vehicle.
Right. Yeah. So
unless it's got det cord.
No, det cord's a bigger boom than mortar fireworks.
Yeah. Well, that's my point.
Yeah. So if you had det cord, we'd have known. Like we'd have definitely known that.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like something that would feed from the fucking to the back that would ignite everything. But this makes no fucking sense.
It doesn't. It does. That's what I keep coming back to, is that just nothing about this makes sense. And so, like, it's almost like if you told me that someone read like a Vince Flynn novel and then like tried to act like a super spy and go do all this stuff to like, and then just screwed it up monumentally the whole time from start to finish, and then ended up accidentally killing themselves when they didn't really want to, that's what this situation feels like to me.
Okay. All right. So going off of what Ro here said, so I did look this up. All right. So it looks like, so there is a separator that can be rolled down.
So he has gas canisters back there. He has fireworks. He has that rolled down, driving for however X many hours. I mean, it's a 12-hour drive from Denver to Las Vegas, right?
Dude, with all the fucking electric stops he had to make, guarantee is way longer.
Way longer. So, all right. So you just have these fumes building up in there for all these hours. And then, you get to, because like it doesn't make sense to, and he's a Trump fan. It doesn't make sense to go to this just to cook this off there, right?
It just none of it makes sense. And I mean, dude, if he's riding this thing for half a day or more with all those fucking fumes, he wouldn't have been able to fucking even drive the damn thing.
I know.
It's impossible.
So
just every single time we talk about this, it makes less and less sense.
That's what I'm saying. I did, every time I do a deep dive into it anymore, I find, and I think I get a grasp on something, then one other thing blows it all out of the water, and I'm like, oh, all right, dude, I don't know what to even like think.
Yeah, Sarah here. Yeah, he's an unwilling patsy to discredit troops and scare Americans about invasion. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's the story also about the individual who was in ODA sister team, I guess they were saying that he was reached out months ago by somebody claiming to be somebody else.
Yeah, that was Matt Tardio.
Yeah.
And he did, and that's another super weird thing about it too that you can't discount, is that someone tried to social engineer their way into a Green Beret that knew him into his life to try to kind of establish the narrative that Matt was having a mental break at that point. Like this is like a month ago. You know? So that's weird.
Yeah.
I dropped a picture in the Vets Talkin chat group of what the trunk of a Cybertruck looks like. I don't know if you want to pull that up.
Well, we just looked at it. Well, I mean, we already know. We confirm.
It looks like there's a glass partition, but if people are saying that can come down or up or whatever.
No, I already pulled up pictures that shows that it can be lowered down.
Oh, okay.
And Horn's rules say it's like an avalanche. You can access the back.
Okay.
Yeah, none of it makes fucking sense. I can't wait. Just let's hope that everything goes good with the transition. Trump gets in, Kash Patel takes over the FBI, and we learn. Hopefully, we'll actually fucking learn. Sounds like Kash is not. Go ahead.
Another why is the FBI withholding the video from the cab? Like Elon Musk, I guarantee you, he's already seen it.
Yeah,
because Elon Musk came out right after this happened and said he shot himself. And if you've followed Elon, he's not one of those dudes that's going to just come out and just say some nonsense, right? Like he hasn't given any of this any second thought because he already knows exactly what happened.
So he's saying that. Did he specifically say that he shot himself before it went off?
Elon Musk said yes, like the day, like on the 1st.
What?
Yeah, on the 1st, right after it happened, he said let me see if I can find it real quick.
Because we confirmed. I mean, the video is very fucking clear. Shows that this dude was alive when the fireball went off.
Yeah. Let me go to the 1st on his.
While you do that, I'll honor this chat over here. Dr. Gold for another $5. Thank you, buddy. Says hearing all that. We're talking about our military experience, and I think he's talking specifically about what you went through in SEER school. He says hearing all that, I don't think I can make it through military training. Shout out to all the vets. Yeah, you can, dude. You can do it. Dude, just don't be crazy enough to go Green Beret.
I always tell people that it's hard, but when you're doing something that sucks so bad, you just look over at your buddy and you're both sucking and you're been out in the field for 12 days and you haven't hardly eaten and you're getting, every time you get into a fire base, you're getting blown out by your cadre that instead of carrying a backpack full of food, he carries a backpack full of Artie Sims. And you just look at each other and you laugh and you're like, this sucks so bad. And then you just go on with your day, man. And then eventually it ends. And then you
and then you look back on it later, you say, that was fucking awesome. I made it through that.
Yeah, you do. I mean, it's amazing your body and your mind. You can make it through a whole lot more than you ever think you can if you just do it. If you're just 100%. There's no other option than to do this.
Yep. 100%. Thank you so much for that, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, he's our 21-year-old based ass supporter here.
Nice.
Just turned 21. He's contemplating going to the military. I say do it, man. Do it.
I mean, yeah, you don't have to go. There's a lot of stuff you can do in the military that's not necessarily super hard. Basic. Yeah. I mean, you're gonna get. Basics. I don't actually even know today what basics like. I mean, obviously, I went a long time ago.
Joined most of the Air Force.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
I hear they have stress cards now. You get stressed, you can hold up a card. And
people have been saying that forever, dude. I've never actually met one person who ever actually had a stress card. It's always I knew somebody who had a stress card, or I heard somebody talk about stress card. I don't think it's real. I've never met anyone who actually had stress cards.
The only time I've seen anything similar is when we went to SEER. Anytime you took a beating, they would put a little zip tie on your uniform. And that was just to show how many beatings you've had that day.
Well, they didn't even do that for us, man. You could get hit 100 times in a day if you were doing the wrong thing. You were taller. Why are you taller than I am tall? for any of you that's been through SEER, if you're listening, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Hey, Adam, in the private chat, I dropped a video. It has to do with Trump's plan to annex Canada and whatnot. You only need to watch the first 10 seconds of it, but it's hilarious.
All right. Let me pull this up.
Elon Musk posts a lot.
Drunk 3PO brought this up on his stream this morning, and it's pretty funny.
What if the United States, Mexico, and Canada became one country? If all three nations joined together to form a single country, they could call it CUM, or the United Nations of CUM. The most country in the world. Economically, this union would dominate with a GDP of over $28 trillion, making it the richest country on earth.
United Nations have come.
Thank you for that.
Oh man,
you trying to look for GB?
I don't know if it was a response. I'm on the first now, but I don't know that he tweeted it. I think it was a response to somebody else's tweet, and it might take me a while to find it, honestly. But he said something to the effect of, a mentally ill person shot themselves. End of story. And that's what he
Oh
said.
yeah, I know the tweet you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, and so, and part of me, when I saw that, like I'm still digging into all these inconsistencies, but part of me was like, man, he already has seen what happened in that cab.
Yeah,
like he watched it 100%. Because the explosives didn't, I mean, you could see some of the tattoos on Matt that they were saying his body wasn't completely, like, obviously there was plenty of him left and it didn't destroy that much stuff. So the Tesla, the Cybertruck computer was intact for sure. So they were able to pull whatever they needed to pull off of that, guaranteed. And so that's kind of that. But
Sarah disagrees.
Well, again, no one really knows except for the people that have seen the inside of that cab video. And the whole point I was bringing up to that is that hopefully Cash, when he gets in there and kind of revamps the FBI, that he brings back this, like showing us the video of that cab is not going to affect the investigation, right, in any way, shape, or form. There's nothing else. There's nothing that showing us that video is going to do to hinder their investigation. So there's no reason to show it other than just because it's the FBI and they hold on to everything, So
let's hope maybe there's a possibility that the reason Elon doesn't want to come out with it right now, maybe there is something to it that could hurt the deep state. Like maybe Matthew was a victim something by the feds, and right now maybe they're trying to keep it under wraps until they're in position to reveal what really happened and what's going on.
I just feel like unless Elon is just, I just feel like if it were that and Elon saw it, I just feel like that would, I feel like his, his problems with authority and his kind of like go fuck yourself nature would have just posted it and been like, look, they're lying to everybody. I don't know, man.
I want to believe that Trump, having learned from his first, from his faults in the first administration, and having surrounded himself now with a lot of very smart people, that they have a strategy in place right now to, because we know already right now they're trying to sabotage they're actively right now trying to sabotage his administration going forward. And I want to believe that they are doing everything they can in a strategic manner to stop what they're trying to do right now and then fix things when they get in. And again, I'm only speculating here, but I think that he surrounded himself with a lot of very smart people, and I think they have a plan. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that's exactly what's going to happen, because there's just a lot of things that need to change. And I did a poll today. I just kind of wanted to see. Let me pull it up real quick. I said, are we being lied to about, let's see, where is it exactly? Yeah, I said, are we being lied to about the Vegas bombing and the NOLA terrorist? Got almost 3,000 people voted on it, and 84.4% said yes.
Yeah.
So that right there is a massive problem, right? You have 3,000 people, all, the majority of them, the vast majority of them believing that we're being lied to. And so something has to change with that. I mean, if you can't trust your own government and you can't trust your own establishments inside of your government that are meant to protect, the law-abiding citizens, then where do we even go from here as a nation?
Yeah, well, there's a reason why I'm surprised. I think I've done 2 shows already, and I still haven't actually even made this announcement. There's a reason why I have this pinned at the top of the comment section right now. I have no problem saying that we actually are sponsored now by the Alex Jones stores. It's real. I've been forgetting to fucking put this out for the longest damn time. If you go to thealexjonesstore.com/vets, then that's supporting Alex and everything he's doing. Also, you're supporting me as well. I get 10% of all the purchases over there when you use /vets. And if it weren't until recently, I would not put that up there, because there's a long time where there was the stigma that if you believe in anything Alex Jones says, then you must be just a crazy conspiracy theorist. But the reason why you have over 80% of people on your poll there saying that is because everyone has learned that Alex Jones has been right this entire time. Now, he's not the only reason why we've learned this, but after all the revelations that came out, after the COOF lockdowns, after we know that we've been lied to, all of this shit has come out, and we know that we don't trust these institutions anymore. And # Alex Jones was right. So, yeah, we're in a world now where this deep state, whatever you want to call it, this conglomeration of corruptocrats, I think is what Dan Bongino calls them. Nobody trusts them anymore, and they're collapsing, and they are in desperate mode right now, trying to survive. So, guys, I guess this is a perfect opportunity to finally actually promote for the first time. Go to thealexjonesstore.com/vets. He's got plenty of products there. I've been using a lot of his products for a long time. He's got new ones on that one, as opposed to InfoWarsStore.com, because he's about to lose InfoWars one way or another. That's going away from the settlement. But guys, if you're a fan of Alex Jones and if you want some of his products, use Alex Jones Store, thealexjonesstore.com/vets, and that'd be supporting both him and us over here at Vets Talkin.
Dude, I liked the idea of Elon Musk buying MSNBC because they're failing, and then letting Alex Jones run it.
Yeah,
that'd be hilarious. Well,
so cool.
What's crazy is that he got, he lost that whole settlement, and as an activist judge, clearly, just like, the same kind of stuff that happened to Trump and all that, and losing to the E. Jean Carroll case. Now all these people are saying he's an adjudicated rapist. I'm like, are you a complete idiot? You like a civil judge cannot adjudicate a criminal offense. One, right? That's dumb. But we have these activist judges that are making these baffling decisions. The same thing they did to Trump about Mar-a-Lago not being worth what him and other banks assessed it at. Like this is how everything works. And plus, like, they're just looking at the property. They're not looking at the revenue that place brings in. So when you couple all of that together, I mean, that place is worth tons of money to anybody who wants to. If someone were going to buy that, it's going to cost hundreds of millions of dollars. And then to have a judge who knows absolutely nothing about real estate or about running as big of a business as Mar-a-Lago is, like, sit here and say that, like, it's all crazy. But it's
all
crazy.
The property around it, a fraction of the size, was way more than they valued Mar-a-Lago at.
But I can't remember the dude that did it. I have to find it at some point and post it up. But they did a deep dive on the Sandy Hook shooting, and he made valid points. I mean, like, most of the parents that were being interviewed were all paid actors, right? And he proved it. He proved they were all paid actors. There's only a couple of pictures from the incident that happened, and again, I'm not saying it necessarily didn't happen, but like, why was everything so, like, kept under wraps? Why was the Tennessee trans shooter, why didn't that manifesto come out, and why didn't they tell us everything that actually happened with that? Why are they keeping all this stuff to themselves? Because then it just creates this situation that we're in now, where no one trusts anything that they say. Exactly. If you would just be honest, they try to say they do it because they're trying to keep people from panicking. Like, well, guess what? You're creating the panic now because people don't trust what you're saying, and they think that something else is going on.
And that's a perfect time to segue over to the story that oh, wait a minute. Did I miss a super chat here? Yeah, let me do a super chat first. Blue Cordell for another fucking 20. Fucking badass, bro. Thanks so much. Says, my cousin had stress cards in 96. He sent me a pic. Okay, so you saw a pic of it, but I'm still getting, you heard from someone else that there were stress cards. I have never met anybody who said they had stress cards. But at least this is a more confirmation than anyone else. You're not just hearing it. You actually got a picture from somebody from 1996. Okay. I'm still not believing until I see it, but all right, I'll go with that. Thank you for the 20 there, buddy. Let's do this. Thank you, Blue Cord.
What was he trying to do there?
There's a longer video of that. It's a bunch of Marines. They hop up and then they spin around and hop off. Instead, he just launched himself into the HESCO barrier. Fucking Marines do what Marines do. Let's see. Let me get over here to Peter Santos. I'll get back up to you, but Dr. Gold says about one of your t-shirts, and I love the shirt. Awesome, dude. I appreciate that. I just put out the new ones finally with the new Airborne Wings logo there. I know the old ones had the old logo that looks it looks like this with our mascot Jody there. But I do have new products up now. Got the new hats. Got the old one here. It just says Vets Talkin. I've got one with the actual Airborne Wings with the V and T on there. So, guys, you can check those out as well. And I am going to be shipping off. Finally, I've got people who are in the You Went Full Retard membership level who I've owed shirts to for a very fucking long time. I'm finally going to get those shipped out. But I appreciate all of you guys who are supporting the merchandise section. And I do have a friend here who is an artist. She's going to work on some shirts as well. I've got the idea for one where it's an image of a soldier in the kneeling combat position outside of a fob with a flag in the background. And says they'll say the only time I kneel for the flag, because he's defending the fob. We're going to have that shirt out at some point here. As well as more. So check out, please go into the YouTube channel section on there, click on store, and you'll get access to all of our merchandise on there. So I appreciate the hell out of you, Dr. Gold. And Peter Santos rolls in, drops a 10, says, take my money, and walks away. Thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate the hell out of that. You know what? We had a bunch of 5s and 2s and 10s here. I'm going to say that adds up to 20. I'm going to do another shot for you guys. Hold on. I have whiskey in my decanter again. It's pretty badass. I got a 173rd on the decanter here, and on the back it's got my name, 173rd Airborne Sky Soldiers. I don't remember where I got it, but I'm sure it's SF ones too if you want one.
Sweet.
Sure, if you looked up like Special Forces decanter, you'd be able to find it. So thank you very much, everybody, for all the super chats. Obviously, the show's not over yet. We're still going to get to the January 6th pipe bomber information. And show you guys some of that crazy shit. So thank you guys very much.
That wasn't an approach.
Thank you, Peter, Dr. Gold, all of y'all legends. Appreciate the fuck out of all you, man. All right. GB, if you were to come on here, have your screen on and say you were playing along, I guarantee they'll get you fucked up.
Yeah, I'm on a little detox alcohol for now, after the new year. So see how long it lasts.
I don't blame you. I went to a local bar here last night, and the bartender does the dry January thing, party on New Year's. It says he does it every year, and his tradition is at the end of January he breaks out a very, very expensive bottle of whiskey and drinks that down with his dad. That's a cool tradition. Yeah, that's a cool tradition. All right, so to break down what happened with the pipe bomb thing, I'm sure a lot of people might actually recall that there was a story about pipe bombs, that there was a pipe bomb that was found at the DNC headquarters and at the RNC headquarters as well. The RNC is not as suspicious as the DNC, because the DNC one was on a road that had cameras everywhere. All right, there's these benches out in front of the building, and the pipe bomb was placed inside the bushes of at the benches here. We'll see in this video that people are saying, we have newly released video where you can see him laying the pipe bomb. We knew about this 3 fucking years ago. All right, this isn't fucking new. Those of us who've been paying attention to this know this stuff has been out for 3 fucking years. All right, the FBI only now, like in the last fucking day or two, finally said, hey, we're going to really work on this now. If you have any information about this, please let us know. 4 fucking years later.
Mm-hmm.
So the things that are very suspicious about this, they say this pipe bomb was laid sometime around 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. They found it sometime around 11 o'clock, which is about 20 minutes before the certification process was going to begin for the election, right around when the riots started. On January 6, 2021. They say that they found it and they showed pictures of it, and it's strange. Those who have information were able to find pictures of FBI bomb tech training pipe bombs, and it looks exactly like it, including the fact that the timer is a fucking 1 hour twisting timer. Now, remember I said it was planted at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning with a 1 hour timer, and they said it was going to explode within minutes when they found it.
What?
Yeah. Think about that for a minute. On top of that, this is DC, Washington, D.C., DNC headquarters, where they had bomb-sniffing dogs do a sweep of the area that very day. And a bomb that was visibly sitting there. They took a picture of it. You could clearly see it just sitting there. And the bomb tech went around, didn't see it, and the bomb-sniffing dog did not smell it.
Yeah.
Now, later, somebody suspiciously spots it and goes and informs the Secret Service agents who were there protecting Kamala Harris. Said, "Hey, I see something suspicious in the grass in the bushes over there." That individual turned out to be an off-duty Capitol Police officer. Now, isn't that suspicious? Also suspicious. It took them something like 10 or 15 minutes to get the fuck out of their truck and go look at it. Children were walking by. An entire class of kids were walking by. Nobody did anything to stop this fucking thing. And finally, somebody goes over. Finally, the camera pans over. And then all of a sudden, now it's in fucking mode. Again, so basically what I'm getting at is this is so much more suspicious. Exactly the same like we're talking about with the entire thing with Matt Livelsberger. So... Yeah. This right here, we're going to see now in this video. Now, I believe this actually is some new footage that came out. Mike Benz here says that in if you guys haven't already read it while I was doing my rant there, in 2021, I spent literally hundreds of hours on the Jan 6 pipe bomber. One thing I never published until now still bothers me to this day. I believe the FBI, in addition to nuking the frame rate on the DNC security camera, blurred the eyes and no one could ID based on biometrics. So I guess this actually is something he's been looking at for a long time. So let's I forgot he had this fucking music on. So 10 minutes before DNC site, no extra blur. Can't even see the gleaming glint of the glasses. Yeah, he's wearing glasses, cover up completely. They go through every method they possibly can do. Negligible. Did I say that right? Negligible. Negligible heat. He goes heat map. Distortion. GB, help me.
Yeah, distortions.
The alcohol's getting to me. Around the eyes or above face mask. Audio. Shut. But at DNC site, suddenly, man, it's way too fucking fast. But at DNC site, suddenly horizontal blur bar appears over his eyes. Yeah, you can clearly actually make that. You can clearly see. I don't know if you guys can see it as well as I can, but you can clearly see a blur bar over his fucking eyes in this picture or video. I think you will pause it here at some point. Yep, there it goes. That is a very obvious fucking blur effect that they put over the eyes of this. So you can't even make out glasses on here, let alone eyes. Oh, there we go. Okay. Heat signatures, all this stuff. You can't, they made it so there's absolutely no way you can see us at all. This camera at DNC bomb site is 45 feet closer. Right up when we should finally get a close-up of the pipe bomber's eyes, the FBI pulls the plug and blurs it out. Why? That's the fucking question. Why? Yeah, GB, you've never even heard this, have you?
No, I haven't. I looked into it when it was first kind of coming out, and then life happened. I haven't really looked into it since. I might give it a look. I'm kind of right now. I'm like I said, I'm into the NOLA one and why the explosives that he put out at different places around New Orleans and why those didn't go off and as they should have, because I believe obviously the ramming the truck into people and then getting out and shooting was the plan B. Plan A was to blow up the bombs and then I think he had enough stuff to go do whatever. He had access to RDX. So, and people don't know, RDX is a highly tracked substance, explosive substance. This is kind of what they use to, it's what they use to train bomb dogs, because it's the smell of it's never altered, right? And so, but it's a highly explosive material, and yeah, and he had access to it, which means that he either got it and was on a list and the FBI knew it because they know who buys that stuff, or he somehow got it unattributed, which is also kind of crazy. Like he went to Egypt for a little bit before he came back, and then if you look into the stuff, he was very recently radicalized. Like in 2024 is when he moved into that Muslim community in Houston. So going through all that right now, but maybe we'll look into some other stuff a little bit later on the J6 stuff, and kind of, I mean, this guy looks like he's already done a really, really comprehensive deep dive, obviously, on it. So, and then you always also, and from our perspectives, you get to a point where unless you have like a contact inside the agency that's going to give you some information that you can't get otherwise, you're kind of stuck with publicly available information, and that's just not always good enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least one thing I want to say, like you're talking about, with the NOLA driver. I mean, it makes no sense, because they said that they managed to eliminate the threat before he was able to detonate the bombs. Why the fuck did he get out of the truck and start shooting before detonating the bombs?
Yeah, I think there was an issue with the detonation of them. I don't know. Obviously, that question can't be answered right now, but I think that there was an issue with the detonation of them, and they didn't go off. And so then I think he rammed the vehicle to at least do some sort of attack after the fact, like Plan B type thing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying like you think like he was trying to detonate them even before crashing?
Yeah, I think so. This is another, like, I think it was incompetence. And I don't think crashing that vehicle, because he had other stuff in that vehicle for like what would be considered a follow-on attack or to do something later. So I think that the bombs that he put around New Orleans and he was trying to detonate ended up not detonating for whatever reason. And so then ramming the crowd and shooting and getting out and shooting was his plan B to just do an attack.
Okay. Horny Alf, thank you so much. Yeah, we really need to see that hot Horny Alf bod.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, let's okay, speaking of giggity, I want to pull this up.
Yeah, we got this one too.
Let's do a little levity. What happens when you fail by washing your J-Lo in hot water?
Uh-oh.
Not gonna lie, that's a hot midget. That is one hot midget, man.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I got to call it a night, man.
Yeah.
It's been fun. I got work in the morning though, so been burning at both ends for a while. So.
Shit. Yeah, I should ask how long you could be on for. Yeah, sometimes we go 2 to 3 hours here. So
yeah, no worries. No, I had fun. It's a great time. Hopefully we got a little bit of information out too. But
yeah, so at some point we'll have to have you on. We'll do a whole show just to like have you special guests, just talk about everything that you went through in SF, and have it all about you, brother. Because yeah, you got a lot of good stories there for sure.
Oh yeah, cool. All right.
Well, you kind of broke up there, but everybody check out.
Again, Adam, and
yeah, you kind of break up.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. Check out, everybody. Go check out Green Beret Nap Time at GBNT 1952. Thank you so much, brother.
Thanks, man. Yeah, y'all have a good night.
Yep, have a good one there, man. Thanks so much. All right. Let's see. I want to get up here and give him proper credit because awesome fucking dude, man. Awesome fucking dude. Damn, where am I fucking...
That at GBNT, that's on Twitter, right?
Yeah, on Twitter/X. Yeah.
Okay.
Where's my fucking America?
America.
There it is.
America, fuck yeah.
All right. Let's see.
I saw a meme today because he wanted to rename the Gulf of Mexico Gulf of America, and it's some place Gulf of America.
Yeah. Did I play that yet? I don't. Did I play the? Yeah. No. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Him announcing that he wants to change Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America.
Yeah. You did. Yeah. You did.
Yeah, and by the way, everyone, remember also this Thursday we're gonna have on current active duty Army, Canadian Army. Mark the Cyborg is gonna be on here on Knife Hands, 8:00 Eastern this Thursday. We're gonna talk about the idea of annexing Canada and what that would mean for the military, because Mark actually is down for the idea. He likes the idea of becoming America, even though he is wary of the idea of bringing another big liberal state into our voting policies here, which Canada would be. But the bigger concern is not interrogation, what's it called? Bringing the two militaries together, it'd be very conflicting.
It would cause some problems.
It would cause some problems, yeah, especially like, for Mark alone. I mean, he's allowed to grow a beard out and smoke weed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, that ain't going to happen in our army. That shit ain't happening. But he's talking about, he thinks that, he says that the pay rates are higher for their army because, of course, they can. They don't actually have to fight any wars, so they can pay the soldiers better. There's a number of issues.
Also, officers can have relationships with enlisted as long as you're not in the same chain of command in their military.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that was something I heard of 15 years ago. So it's been around a while in their
integration. Military. Thank you for Jesus Christ. I can't think. Yeah. And the French part. Yeah, that was another thing. Somebody was pointing out, like, yeah, you got fucking Quebec there with Montreal. You got the French speaking area.
I have my trepidations about certain parts of Canada joining, because then we're just bringing in a bunch of liberal socialist voters.
Yeah, absolutely, big time. That's why he makes a good point that every province should be their own state. And at least then I think it would be more equaled out. You'll have the very liberal ones like Quebec, but
I'll take Alberta and Saskatchewan. Yeah, they can join because they're very red.
I think Nova Scotia is too, isn't it?
I think so.
Isn't Nova Scotia the Far East one?
Yeah.
I think they're pretty based over there.
But the problem is that even though you're separating it into separate states, you're still going to get more blue states than red states because their population is overly blue in voting.
I looked it up. The entire population of Canada is something like 50 million. Compared to California, it's over 350 million.
Of course, they don't do
crazy.
Yeah, they don't do electoral colleges, so there may be a difference there. But
yeah, and obviously, like we're talking about, then it would be electoral college. So each of these provinces would be like, shit, it'd probably be like the voting power of like Vermont, which is like 2 electoral votes. So I don't think it would actually make that big of an impact on election at all, to be honest.
I honestly don't think Trump is serious with the whole Canada annex.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't think
he's
so
trolling
either.
them.
It's fun to talk about.
Now the Greenland stuff, I think that is something he's serious about. And I don't know if he's serious enough that he wants them to be a territory or state, but he wants a closer relationship with Greenland.
Well, no, they're talking about full annexation. They're actually talking about full annexation from Denmark.
Yeah, that's what he said. He wants to buy it from them. Denmark doesn't want to. Greenland is not.
We're going to talk about. We'll talk about on Thursday. We're going to do a deep dive on it on Thursday. But no less. If I had to guess, it'll probably be like what do we have the ones that aren't states but they're territories, right?
Like Puerto Rico
and
and Guam and The thing is like Greenland does not have a good relationship with Denmark.
Right.
They're apparently they seem to be fans of the United States based on his son's visit today.
What's the possibility that all they just managed to find just a handful of people just want to be on camera with Don Jr.?
True. But like I said, they've had a lot of bad relationships with Denmark lately. So maybe they're looking for something new. I don't know. But
Chaya says Puerto Rico is an island of trash. That's right. No, we're the trash people, according to Biden. All right. Let's see. What else do I want to pull up here? Oh. All right. I'm going to pull this one. Dude, okay, guys. I'm going to pull this video up because it's fucking hilarious. SNL. I was trying to remember SNL. Actually managed to do something funny recently. And I can't even imagine how much the fucking libtards their heads must have been exploding when they heard this, even though they're laughing at it.
Warner Brothers is producing a new movie in which Superman is black. And a black Superman actually makes a lot of sense when you remember that Superman was abandoned by his parents as a baby.
Wow.
Well, I knew you'd like that one, so here's another one. Warner Brothers is producing a new movie in which Superman is black. In this version, black Superman's kryptonite is an honest day's work.
Oh, man.
Before I go, I just thought of another punchline for that black Superman story. Black Superman will be referred to as the Man of Steel, spelled S-T-E-A-L.
Oh, wow. See, that's what
did something funny. Look,
that's what SNL used to be.
Yes.
Oh,
that is classic old SNL. Look at that. Look at what Trump is doing. Trump just made comedy funny again. Shit.
Gary from Nerdrotic said it today in a tweet. He said, the culture has shifted. And all it took was an election and Trump winning.
Yep.
The culture has shifted. Now, do I trust all these people on the left that are moving to the right just because, it's convenient? No, but it's shifting the entire culture. It's forcing people to shift.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, I'm never going to forgive them. I will never forgive the Ben Stillers or any of these other motherfuckers. Even if, someone like Ben Stiller wants to come out and say the left is, ruining comedy or anything like that. Fuck you. You wanted to fucking put Kamala fucking Harris, the queen of woke, into the president's fucking office. So go suck a fucking dick, okay? I will never trust you.
And another perfect example, if you need one, the fact that him getting elected, within a month of him getting elected, Trudeau has resigned. That is, if that's not a shift, then I don't know what is.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to have been a fly on the wall at Mar-a-Lago when Trudeau went down there to go talk to Trump. It's man. Let's just pray, hope and pray that things are gonna go well between now and the inauguration. Less than 2 weeks away. It's the 20th, and we're on the 7th right now. Yeah. Almost there, dude. He wants to hold a fucking rally in DC before then, and I don't trust for his safety for the rally, and I don't trust the safety of him out in the open at the inauguration, man. This fucking drone threat is scary.
I don't think that's a good idea. I think it's just asking for it right now with
The Secret Service is not in place. The Secret Service is not equipped to handle a drone threat right now. I mean, we saw fucking 2018, I think it was, the president of Venezuela, as much as we fucking hate him, had a fucking a drone bomb try to be flown into him, which they managed to blow that thing up. So it's scary, man. It's fucking scary. I don't trust that. I'm very terrified about what could happen between now and the election, and even after the election. These people are so psychotic. The deep state wants him out. Iran wants him out. He is the most threatened man in the entire fucking world right now. And the fucking Secret Service, as it is right now, especially, is only against him. And even when we get a new Secret Service director in there, which I would love it for it to be Dan Bongino, even when they take over, the Secret Service is still not equipped or trained to handle the threats that we have right now, which the biggest threat being drone warfare. So I don't know. It's scary, man. Fucking scary. Let's just hope and pray. Let's pray for Trump. and let's go ahead and get out of here, man. It's been a good show.
Yeah, it's good.
Fucking good show, man. Thank you guys so much. Everyone out there, you got 4DC 4L popped in. Humor's much needed. You're absolutely right, man. I love you. Chaya Miller, thank you. Vor Axelon, Peter Santos, Hughes Trudeau, dude, that guy loves fucking blackface. I'll say that much. As fucking stupid and liberal as they are up there, it's still amazing. They brought in such a racist and re-fucking elected him afterwards. So guys, thank you all so much. Like I said, make sure to check out Thursday Knife Hands here, 8:00 Eastern. Where we'll have Mark the Cyborg's going to be on. Check that out. I'm thinking might have Scarlett Hampton on Saturday. Our porn star friend. We're gonna have Scarlett on for a Skinamax Saturday, so I can say that Skinamax actually has something pornographic on. For once, an actual legit porn star. So we'll see how that goes, because she was talking some crazy shit on a show where she wasn't even the main guest. But yeah, guys, stay tuned. We got a lot more videos that are gonna be uploaded from Amfest, where I had my $1,000 booth that we paid for and got a lot of interviews. We got Danica Patrick. We got the CEO Parlor was on. We got a ton more stuff. We've got people who've been retweeting, big followings. The channel's expanding, guys. We got a lot of great connections from that. So, guys, thank you so much. Horny Alf, what you got going on, man?
Yeah, I'm Horny Alf. You can go check out my channel on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, whatever's your poison that you like. But trying to build my YouTube channel. I do mostly gaming content. I've also been reacting recently to Warhammer 40K lore videos. So go check that out. But it's mostly video game content. So yeah, any help you can get. I just recently got through 700 subs. I'm trying to get to 1,000 before this next year, if I can. So.
Excellent. Hell yeah. Give him some help over there, man. I know you've been doing reaction videos and everything, so some cool shit. Chai, I see you. Yeah, just don't show up for that show, I guess. I get why it's not everyone's cup of tea there with the Scarlett, but yeah, it'll be a fun show, I think, for a lot of people. I get why some people would not enjoy it, but yeah, we're still gonna do it. All right, guys, thank you guys so much. I love all of y'all. Thank you all for the chats in there. Love everybody, and thank you to the lurkers. Thank you for the super chats, you guys, keeping the lights on out here. As always, Dr. Gold and my God, can't forget fucking Blue Cord Devil. Everyone else, love you guys so much. Chai, I appreciate you being here, even though we're gonna have a porn star on. And thank you to the lurkers. Everyone else, you guys remember, do all that fun stuff. The double tap, like, and subscribe, and you can share us out there with everyone, because you don't gotta be veteran here at Vets Talkin. Just don't get butthurt. You've been warned.
Open those arms. Oh God! Ah!